Welcome to Armchair Expert. I'm Dax Shepard. I'm joined by Monica Lily Padman.
Good morning to you.
Good morning. We have one of the great singers of our lifetime.
Oh my God. She's unreal.
Powerhouse. Kelly Clarkson. She is a Grammy Award-winning singer and Emmy Award-winning talk show host. She has many great albums, but she has a new one out right now called Chemistry, which has a cool origin of why she made the album. The album's tracking every single moment in the, what do we call it? The star-crossed lovers, the endorphins, the high, that ride you take.
Yes. In case everyone forgot, because I do think it's easy to forget. Because we all know she's great.
Yeah.
But you forget. And then the other day, which was sort of a song of hers popped up.
This has happened to me 2 or 3 times since we interviewed her as well.
Oh my God.
Where I'm like, oh God, that's right.
I want to play a little bit.
Okay.
When I'm away from you, I'm happier than ever. Wish I could explain it better. I wish it wasn't true. Give me a day or two to think of something clever, to write myself a letter, to tell me what to do.
Unbelievable. Her voice.
What a voice.
Oh, so good.
And she can let her rip. She can belt it out. You're going to love this. She's so fun and down to earth and cool. Please enjoy Kelly Clarkson.
He's an armchair expert. He's an armchair expert. He's an armchair expert.
Where are you coming from?
I just got back from my ranch. I live sometimes in Montana when I can get there.
Okay.
Yeah, because I heard y'all are going Nashville.
In fact, on your lake.
That's what she just said.
So why'd you sell that place?
We had to kind of pick because of the talk show, not the voice so much. It didn't make sense to keep it, and so we had to move. It was kind of a huge house. We didn't need that big of a house.
It was a big house.
Yeah, but the only thing, we got it, it's such an incredible deal because unfortunately the person went under.
Okay, wonderful. This is
What's
Monica.
Up? Hi, Monica.
Hi.
Hi,
Monica.
I know, nice to see you. Yeah.
So how many years did you have that house? Because I got to tell you our experience with this, which was we bought kind of blindly. We saw a lot we liked. The lake looked nice from where we were at. But then I was like, this lake might be terrible. We went out on a boat, got a tour from a great dude, Tony, that lives down there. And we saw Johnny Cash's burnt down house.
Yep, I've done that tour.
Right.
Yeah, because every time you get a place, everybody's like, here's Johnny Cash's burned down house.
Yes, and it worked for me. I was like, oh my God, that's so cool.
It would have to be a complete turd of a lake for me not to be into it because I just love water.
Me too.
And I love lakes more than oceans because sharks aren't in it. So.
Yeah.
Also, you wake up in the morning and the water's flat and
it's so
glass-like.
beautiful.
It's so peaceful.
Yeah, we'd kayak on it. We only got to do that a few times because, when we moved into that house, we got married and had kids right away. All the fun things you do when you're in love and don't have children, it's like,
yes.
We didn't really have that time because he also had 2 older kids. So we did a few things that were fun there, but I'm going to find out the name of it.
Yeah.
The coolest thing to do in Nashville though, isn't even right there. It's an hour away. They drive you up, you get on the boat and you just float down a river and it's so peaceful and it's beautiful.
On a canoe or a tube?
I think you can do whatever you want, but they do kayaks. But it's so fun. And your car is down where you bring the boat out. Yeah. There's some really cool stuff.
Would you go out on the lake a lot?
My ex loves toys, and I do too, so I can't throw him under the bus. I'm more of a jet ski person. I was one with jet skis, and he liked wave runner boats, that kind of stuff. So,
okay. Did you buy the place after the 2008 collapse? Is that
yes, that's why we got it in the short sale. Yeah.
And then you sold it, and you did wonderful. You made a bunch of money, I'd imagine.
We made money on it, I think. But here's the thing that happens with me. We thought it would be our forever home.
Yes, of
like,
course.
and we had a farm out in Gallatin, which is like 50 minutes away from the house. So
I
we
have
had
the same plan.
So we had a farm, little orchard, chickens. We have all the thing there. And then we had the lake house. And he had older kids, was married before, so we had to stay there. So we knew it was going to be kind of our forever home, right? And so we spent so much money.
Remodeling it.
Yes, and making it perfect. Yeah.
It looked perfect when we pulled up on the boat.
Boy, it should look nice.
It's all white.
It
Yeah, it
cost
was
a
all
pretty
white.
It was, like a lot of money on that. And I kept telling my business managers, I was like, but it's our forever home. It's fine. And like now I'm like in Montana at my forever home. And I'm like, but it's my forever home. So, but I'm very low key on my own. I think when you're with someone, maybe from their experience of life, you just do things bigger than you normally do. My ranch in Montana, I live in a tiny 2-bedroom cabin. You have to go sideways to walk around the bed, kind of small.
You're like living in a country album from the 30s.
Yes, but it's wonderful. I think more intimate is more my vibe because I think that you start learning that the bigger you get, the more shit you have to take care of.
Yes.
Well, the more shit.
Taxing.
Also, people can hide.
Oh, I thought you went like Dateline special. Like people are jumping out, hiding in your house. I was like, wait, what?
No. I remember watching this great documentary about one of the most legendary, I forget what dude it was. He did acid therapy, and a lot of people want to be, and I'm one of them, is this famous, not Clark Gable, not Fred Astaire, but along those lines. I'll remember it as we go. He said that they kept moving into bigger houses, and he said what he didn't like about them is that everyone was away from each other. It's just so big that people would be in different corners. And then you're kind of now living alone.
Yeah. I built little 1-bedroom cabins like right next to it. When my family comes, we're all over each other. But it's kind of cool. You're on top of each other. It's only for a little bit because you're on vacation, so it's not for that long. But it's cool because you all end up watching the same movie. You all end up playing games. You all end up talking.
All the memories are shared from the whole experience.
And like that Nashville house that you saw, it was a mini mansion. It was literally like 22,000 square feet.
Oh. Yeah, that's enormous.
Like it's ridiculous. But we got it for such a great deal.
That you just
And we had to do it, and it was on the lake, and we were like, all right. I was not happy that we were leaving Nashville to come to Los Angeles. I love things about Los Angeles that are incredible. Living here is not one of them. So I've lived here poor. I've lived here rich. I've lived here every kind of way in every part on the beach. I've lived in the hills. I've lived in Beverly Hills. I've lived in now Studio City, Toluca
You've
Lake.
given it the college try.
I have given it the college effort. Yes.
Although I didn't hear Los Feliz in there.
Los Feliz was one of the places I did want to, but my ex wasn't really interested in that. So we went Encino because it was like more family.
Yeah.
But then you spent your whole time in the car.
Driving everywhere.
Yeah, and I'm
And
like,
it's a
I don't see my
trillion.
babies. Like, this is not cool. I live literally a song away from the studio. I don't work there anymore now because we're moving to New York. But I moved us to where we were like, you could listen to one song.
Oh, that's so nice.
That doesn't happen here.
No. Well, for me, I walk across my yard.
Dax, screw you.
Yeah. What you're saying about forever home. I'm renovating a house across the street, actually.
Yeah.
And I just had a meeting yesterday. And you're making these huge decisions with the idea that like, well, I'm going to be here forever.
You don't know.
And you don't know.
Yeah.
It's scary.
The one place I do know is Montana, just because I'll never sell the land, even for my
Right.
children's purposes. Also, you just don't know.
But I think people start evaluating whether they're going to stay there forever based on the actual place when you're much better off just looking at your own history. If you're someone who's moved your whole life, guess what? You're probably going to move your whole life.
Yeah.
I don't move. I hate it. We moved so much as a kid. I always had a different bedroom. I couldn't stand it.
I moved when I was a kid too, but I think I went the opposite of you. So I do love change in general. I embrace it. I just think because you only have so much time on this planet and I like to experience things.
Yes, I'm with that. I have wanderlust, but I need my nest.
I am with you with like roots. She had a whole, like I was so sad during this horrible divorce of
You're
mine.
pointing to your friend.
Yes, pointing to my manager and friend, because I was just really dark, very sad. And she brought over this giant cardboard thing and drew a map. She's like, where do you think you'd be? Because I need roots. So I get that.
Yes.
I like to wander. We just went to Italy last month. Like I like going places.
Yeah.
But I like roots. And so on this like whole map, I was like a little vision board thing or whatever.
Oh,
it made
I
me
love
happy.
that.
And Montana, it's that for me.
So tell me what you dislike about LA.
It's not just LA, but I will say
It's the people.
no, it's the seasons. I grew up in Texas and I'm used to 4 full seasons. Now, I will say the valley is very similar to Texas heat. So that sucks. I miss rain. I miss thunderstorms.
We're both from Michigan. Monty's from Georgia. So yes, we all miss seasons and we miss dramatic weather, which is so fun and romantic.
And inspiring.
It is. It is. Yeah. It's a whole mood. Were you ever a cigarette smoker?
Never smoked.
Same.
Because those thunderstorms are the best time to crack a window and smoke in your car.
Yeah, I've never, well, one.
A singer.
Yes, that's the obvious of a singer. But even when I was a kid, I have an allergy to it as well. My father smoked, I believe. I remember something happening. I was very young. I had like some kind of like attack with that. So I don't enjoy the art of that.
Are you a rule follower or were you?
Are we playing a board game?
Yeah.
Are we? Okay.
Yes.
If we're playing a board game, I am annoyingly like, that is not how you play.
Yes. You're the
yes.
enforcer.
Yeah, I don't like playing with cheaters. But in life, I feel like I'm a good, healthy mix. I feel like I'm kind and respectful enough to follow the rules. But I think that I'm also like, I just want to do it, so I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. I think you take your moments.
Okay, let's go back to Fort Worth, 1981.
82.
82.
You're aging me, motherfucker.
It's really a compliment to my wife because I was like, I think you guys are the same age.
We are.
I think
we are.
you're
I'm 82.
you're 1 year younger, but
Yeah.
you're 2 years younger, I think, as it turns out. She's 80. And if
Oh,
you're
I thought you meant
82,
she's 80.
no, she just feels
She
80.
just
No.
got her walker.
But she doesn't look 80. Yeah. So Fort Worth, 1982. Now, I've spent some time in Fort Worth.
What year?
92, 93, 94, 95.
Okay. Those were good years.
I worked for General Motors, and we would regularly have truck shows at Billy Bob's.
I've performed at Billy Bob's.
Of course you have. One of my favorite memories was working at Billy Bob's, then went to a Whataburger.
Did you go in time when the breakfast taquitos were coming out?
9:30 at night. This is real. Of the 6 employees, 3 were shirtless.
Sure.
Yeah, because it's hot as fucking Hades inside
Yeah,
this Whataburger.
it feels like God's hairdryer.
And when I ordered, I said, I'll have a Whataburger, extra mayonnaise, no onions or something. And the dude over the intercom, he's like, Whataburger, no fucking onions, extra fucking mayonnaise, swearing over the intercom. And I'm like, this is heaven. No one's got their shirts on. They're swearing over the intercom. It was so memorable.
Well, the thing about Texas, I think it's full of towns, and I've always been never the bricks, but the sticks. So I'm from those kind of people.
Yeah.
It's very low key and down to earth. And then there's the debutante.
Yeah, that whole scene.
The oil money.
The other side.
Yes.
You're not old enough to have seen Urban Cowboy, or have you? Bud and Sissy.
Yes.
And they were always at Billy Bob's, I think.
I saw that so long ago.
But a big subplot was like, all these oil money, rich, fancy women
It's
that were trying to lure
literally-
Bud to them.
It's literally night and day. You cross the railroad tracks and it's a completely different story.
Yeah. Now, what did your mom and dad do?
I'm not sure what my father did. I didn't grow up with him.
You were 6 when they got divorced?
Yeah, and I don't remember. I don't know how people remember that far back. I remember like certain things, but I don't remember him.
He wasn't in your life at all after that.
No.
What's curious is you guys split up the whole family, right? Like, so
I
you
know.
stayed with mom, your brother went with your dad, and then your sister went with your aunt.
Yes.
You're going to have to explain that to me.
You're going to have to explain that to me.
Okay, yeah. Now that you have a couple kids,
No,
can
it's,
you make sense of that?
No. Having children changed my entire perspective on my childhood.
Of course.
I remember being just pregnant with River, my first, and going, I can't fathom not being a part of her life, just seeing who she's going to be when you don't know any differently. You grow up, and I was just used to not.
It's your normal.
It was my norm.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just didn't have one. It wasn't like a cry every night or anything.
Yeah, my parents were
Yeah.
divorced at 3. I didn't want them to get back together. I didn't care
I
about any of
definitely
that.
do remember I did not want them to get back together. It was not a happy home.
Yeah.
I remember that much.
Did you see your brother?
Not really. I saw him
Really?
like a couple times.
Wow.
That's-
Like,
so you
and my
kinda
sister
just-
a couple times. I feel like I really kind of met him when I was 17 or 18 and we went up there to Alaska.
Oh, he lived in
He invited us.
Alaska.
Yeah. So
Oh,
my
your
brother's
brother.
a decade older than me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And my sister's 7.5 years older than me. I was very much an accident, save the marriage, probably child.
Try.
Yeah.
College
But yeah,
try.
So your sister was then 13 and a half or 14 when the divorce happened? Why did she go to live with your aunt?
She didn't at first. I don't remember this really, but they lived with us for a little bit. And the divorce, I think, hit them a lot harder than it
Yes.
hit me. Even like my daughter and my son, they're only 22 months apart. But boys, they're a little slower. Like,
Boys are
and
dumb. We can
they're
say
not
it.
dumb.
No, they're dumb. Yeah.
No, he's
Yeah.
actually really intelligent.
No, he's dumb. He's
I'm
behind and
telling
he's
you,
dumb. I'm
he's
sorry.
not. He's not.
You have your
he's
mom
actually
glasses on.
really intelligent. Why I say that is he's sneaky. You think he's not paying attention and he's being aloof, and then he'll bring it up like a month later, and I'm like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's kind of sneakily smart. But our divorce hit them differently. My daughter's very intelligent, very intuitive.
And she's 8.5.
She's about to be 9 in like days.
Okay.
wow.
Yeah.
Happy
so
birthday.
little Gemini, super fun. Which one will I get today? But I'm just kidding. I love Geminis. I don't know. I think it hit my siblings a lot harder. So they had a very different childhood, teenage years.
So do you think
like,
your
theirs
sister
were
was
wild.
resentful at
Mine
your
was-
mom?
I don't know. I think my brothers, like my daughter, she'll still be like, y'all are still going to get back together, right? And I'm like, no, honey. Like it's,
right.
and he, I think, always thought that was going to happen.
I have 2 siblings. You have 2. The notion that we would have grown up separately is so crazy of a thought to
But
me.
so normal to me.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to imagine how your mom was able to let 2 kids.
I don't know if there was a lot of choice in either way. There was a lot of, I mean, when I say like hardcore things, it's their life, so I'm not going to talk about it. But
Yeah.
like they had a very different,
experience.
like I was student council kid. Religion was beat into me. I was fearful of everything. I was a very good kid. I didn't even drink until I was like legally able to drink. And I was a waitress, a cocktail waitress at like 18. So like that's
Yeah.
weird. But honestly, not because I was like, oh, I'm a goody goody or anything. I just saw what alcohol did to certain people in my family and also smoking like with emphysema. So I think that's why I steered clear of stuff like that. It
Yeah.
wasn't really for any other reason than I see how destructive that can be. And if that's in our blood or if that can pass on somehow, I don't want to be
Yes.
a part of that.
yeah.
Yeah. I observed all that too and then thought that way. And then
Yeah.
at a certain point, I was like, no, we're going to try this.
Yeah.
And then it was as bad as I thought it would be.
Yeah. No, I know. But like, honestly, sometimes I think some of us are like that too. I have to do that with certain things. You can tell someone till you're blue in the face or they can watch a situation, but some people have to
No,
experience.
you gotta, yes. That's virtually what I told my mom. I said, look, I get it. I'm high probability. I'm like 8th generation addict, but I'm gonna have to find out by myself. There's no way I can just take everyone's word for it that that's going to happen. And by the way, I had a great 10 years of being an addict.
And
before
by
it
the
got
way,
ugly.
we're all addicts.
Oh, sure. Exactly. Not everyone's a substance abuse addict.
No,
but
not everyone's
people
that,
are
but
love
we're
addicts.
Technology, addicted to sugar. They say sugar is more addictive than substances that, you know, you have partaken. So,
Sure.
you know, I'm worse than you because
Uh-huh.
it's harder. It's harder to quit.
Yeah, anytime you're trying to regulate your internal feelings with some external shit and you
Yeah.
do it habitually and it's kind of destructive, you know, that's an addiction.
I know it's so funny. Even on the TV show, we have people on all the time that have taken tragedy and overcome that and like done some really amazing things, right? When they're talking about it, they belittle that. And it's like, it's a human thing. You find something that feels good, you love it. Why would you not want to jump in that? You know, so
Yeah.
Exactly.
I feel like people can take the approach of, I don't know, they're too elitist or I would never do that. And I'm like, oh, don't say that. It's either happening or it's going to happen. I was like, don't say never.
We
Like,
just had
Not
this
if.
conversation
Yeah.
yesterday.
We were literally having it yesterday.
with this
Yeah.
exact conversation because I did say I would 100%
Never.
not do trank.
I am such a nerd. What the hell is trank?
Let me bring you up to speed.
Yep.
Let's go through. So we had our opioid epidemic,
Yep.
obviously. We also have a benzo epidemic that's a little
Yep.
quieter. The new one is trank. It's some kind of equine tranquilizer that people have started doing.
Oh my
and
God.
it
People started doing
heightens-
that in COVID as well.
It's probably the same thing, and it heightens the sensation of the other drugs they're already addicted to. But what it ends up is most people get abscesses, and there's all these amputations that are happening all over the country because it's very hard on your body to be shooting it up. And I just saw a video of Philadelphia yesterday. Someone filming walking down the street, and there was over 100 people that were fully tranked out, and they're all sitting in the same weird slumped standing
Yeah,
position.
it's so
Total
sad.
zombie movie. We were talking about that, and then Monica said, well, I can 100% say I'll never get addicted to trank.
Yeah. But then in talking about it, we decided I can't say that.
She wouldn't right now
I
with
mean,
a big
I'll
full
never
life
commit
that's
murder.
working.
I
That's
think there
okay.
are certain things you can
No,
say. I'll
I
never.
said that
you could
too.
vehicular manslaughter
But that's
on
not
that. Things
murder.
happen.
Yeah, I don't
Kill
know.
someone,
If somebody did something to my child, maybe I'll take that back. Yeah.
Right. There are things.
There's a lot of scenarios in which
Yeah.
I could murder.
I will say though, this is what I don't get about.
Like, you don't like my jacket?
and it's
I'd
like,
kill you.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's one of them.
I don't get people. I'm like, okay, what's going on?
Yeah. the
Deep
anger.
down, because it's not the fucking jacket. It's like, what's happening?
I said I would never I could 100% promise I wouldn't go to jail for rape unless I was being falsely convicted. But I know I can say that for certain that I'm not going to do
Yes.
that.
I
in
think
life.
there
Although I
are
painted a
certain
scenario.
How?
But it wasn't
I would love to
good.
hear this
Yeah.
scenario.
Here's the scenario.
Okay.
The love of her life is Matt Damon. Luckily, he's been here and kissed her on the head. So that's part of her.
luckily.
That
He's
chapter.
nice.
So nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's a sweetheart.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a good boy.
So Matt's over. They're having some cocktails. He gets too drunk. He passes out. He's going to have to sleep here. Ugh. We shouldn't leave these shoes on him. Let's get his shoes
No.
off.
You're
Oh,
thinking
slow
like a
down.
dude.
No.
Exactly. That's what I said.
No.
I said I wouldn't even.
Girls don't. I wouldn't even touch him.
I know.
You want
I
to take his
said-
shoes off?
No, you got
No.
yourself in this mess, brother. Figure your own shit out.
Okay,
Just I'll let leave the
okay.
shoes.
I mean, my girlfriend, If like my girlfriend's like that, I'll help her even get changed, but not a dude.
Okay.
Girls, I
what
don't
if the
think-
love of your life is over and he passes out?
The love of my life at some point has been completely drunk, and I've done that to him, and we still don't.
You're on your
You
own.
weren't finding it attractive enough to then kiss him
No,
or have-
that's not all I said was first the shoes would come off.
Okay.
You were like, okay, right, his shoes are off. He's
Yeah.
going to sleep much better with these shoes off.
Right.
And then he's like, oh, no one wants to sleep in denim jeans.
See,
and
Those
this
are
is
so
all.
tight and uncomfortable.
Yes, exactly. They're cumbersome. He's going to wake up like, oh, get me out of these. Right now, it's all defendable. Then she removes.
It's not defendable
It's
when
not.
this guy
Is.
wakes up and his pants are off.
Exactly. That's what
Hold
I
on.
said.
She takes the pants off. Uh-oh. We didn't know Matt Damon is a raw dogger. He's riding. He's
You
riding
mean
raw.
commando?
He's riding raw.
Okay,
So now when the
wait.
pants come off, all of a sudden now we're confronted with Matt Damon's
Pee-pee.
penis and testicles.
Which is
And we're
totally
gonna-
appropriate to go near
Yeah.
if he's passed out.
We're not going to
Agreed.
go near him, but she's going to stare for a while.
Oh my
Okay?
God.
See-
I love that we're getting more insight to you and less about her.
yeah.
It is. It
Well, I don't
is.
feel bad at all because it's a dude. Like I wouldn't be able to have this hypothetical with a woman involved, but with a dude, if Monica takes his pants off and stares at his penis, good for him. Congratulations,
Okay.
brother. Let me high five you.
Oh my God.
But I'm not doing
I'm not
it.
feeling bad for him.
I'm not doing it. I just want to
I'm not
remind you,
gonna-
I'm
Yeah,
not
I'm not
doing
doing
it.
that. Not
I
doing
am
it.
going to do
I'm
it.
not gonna do
Okay.
it. Anyway,
okay.
we really took a
What's
detour.
the segue from Matt Damon's penis?
I've got a perfect one.
Okay.
No, but there's a couple of moments in your childhood and your early adulthood that are very noteworthy and confusing to me. So you start singing in church, you're singing in a hallway, a choir teacher asks you to join choir, you
At the
become
school.
involved in choir in high school, and now you're on a trajectory. You turn down a full ride to UT.
I had an option if you got a certain chair, right? So I did classical stuff, so opera. So, and that was the only way I was going to get money to go to college. If you get to a certain point, which I think no one as a sophomore at that point had ever even done, I'd already reached a point to where I could get scholarship at like UNT, UT, especially Texas schools. And Berkeley and Boston was one that I was really interested in as well. But I had a lot of older friends. I watched every single one of my friends waste away the first year of their college. And a lot of my friends, their parents paid for everything. I didn't have that option. And a couple of them were music majors. It just was not exciting to me. So I did have a plan of doing that. I worked at Six Flags Over Texas and I did like the singing and dancing. And I love that job.
Were you in a costume or anything?
Totally. Wild West Saloon for one
You were
of
like
them.
a cowgirl?
Yes. Very sexy cowgirl.
I bet.
Yes.
I'm thinking of what's the Disney cowgirl show? Sheriff Callie. Kind of like
Sheriff
a Sheriff
Callie.
Callie
Oh my God,
vibe.
that's a cat.
No, it was like a,
Yeah, that's why
a
we can-
cat. That's
Yeah.
what you're...
Sheriff Callie's a cat.
She's a cat.
This random girl in the show, I didn't know her well. We just met.
But
I
it's a
just found
loose
her
crowd
crying.
that takes those jobs.
Honestly, it was a fun crowd.
Yeah.
It was a very random grouping of people.
Yeah. You're not uptight if you're performing at Flags
Yeah,
Over Six.
no.
Yeah, Six
Flags Over Six.
What is it?
Six-
Flying over, soaring
Flags
over
Over
Texas.
Texas.
Six Flags over
It's a
Texas.
great theme park.
Yeah.
She got let down. The person that was supposed to move to LA with her, she wanted to be an actress. They bailed out on her.
Okay.
So she had to have somebody else because she couldn't afford it because it's expensive as hell to live here. So
Yes, it is.
I was just spontaneous and was like, I'll go. Because I didn't really want to study what they were doing. I didn't even want to do it in high school. You can ask any choir teacher. I hated it. That's not what I wanted to sing. Now I'm
You
very
could do
grateful for
it.
it because it's like any guitarist. If it's a classical guitarist, they can generally play any genre of music.
Yeah.
So I think if you have a classical foundation, it does help you navigate other genres. So I'm very thankful for that. But it didn't make me happy and it wasn't fun.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted to sing was
Yeah.
to have fun. And I liked writing. I wanted a different path. So I randomly moved out to Los Angeles with this girl I hardly knew.
Okay, so that's example one. To turn down full rides to some great places, the notion that I could have gone and lived in Austin for 4 years on a scholarship, it would have been hard for me to
I
pass
mean, I'd been
up.
to Austin. I had people that lived
You
there.
didn't
I'd been in
care.
and out. I prize education, but I don't really feel like that's necessarily the track for everyone. This is coming, by the way, from a teacher's kid. So this was not an exciting notion.
Yeah, I'm sure your mother
To my
was
mother.
not delighted.
I also was the kid outside of high school doing theater things or opera things or like anything to network to find anybody to help me. And I lived in a city where there was not a lot of help for what I wanted to do. There was not a lot of opportunity.
Right.
So I don't think she was shocked at all. And I also firmly believe when you have nothing, and I had like 3 or 4 jobs all the time just because I had to pay my own everything. And so when you have nothing to lose, you go for everything.
Sure.
So I drove across the United States and lived on a mattress.
Did you take singing lessons or was just in choir in school?
Basically choir in school. Maybe I took a few lessons in high school, but I couldn't afford that. I only got like a few lessons and she was great, but it was the same thing we were learning from Miss Glenn in choir. So it was like, you know, all the warm-ups and how to take care of your voice properly and be able to sustain a whole show.
You already intuitively knew the difference between singing in your head voice and your chest and all that stuff?
I didn't know the technical, like I got in choir later than everybody else. Like I am not going to be in choir.
Right.
Like,
too
that's
dorky.
Nerdy.
Yeah. Of course.
Cut to totally in show choir, totally things.
Loved it.
Cut to, all right, this is how I'm going to get to college, which was ironic because I didn't go. But that was the only option for me. So I was way late to the game. Everybody already knew solfege, like the do, re, mi. But I knew it innately.
When you're in that situation and you realize everyone else around you knows more than you, what type of person are you in that situation? Do you avail yourself to advice or do you fake it until you make it? Do you pretend you know? I pretend I know, just to be honest with you.
So within the first month, she separates us into like alto, soprano, second soprano for the choir. So it was one of the most embarrassing, horrifying moments of my life, but also then one of the ones that I was like, oh, wait, she had us all around like a piano and we were doing scales, right? Just to figure out where you were going to vocally go. And I was kind of at the front. All of a sudden I noticed it was just me singing. And then this other girl on the other side. And I was like, why are we the only ones singing? And we're total first sopranos. So people just couldn't go as high, right?
Yeah.
And then she scaled down and we could go really low. So at first I was horrified because I was new to this and I was embarrassed because I was like, why is everyone not singing?
Yeah.
And everyone can hear me and like, what do I sound like? And like, I'm only sang in church. I wasn't the girl that I am now. I was mortified and almost shit my pants. And then everybody was like, oh my gosh, you have a really great range. And then it turned into something that I felt special.
Yeah.
Which completely, by the way, changed my entire personality. And especially if you don't ever feel special before that. Anytime a kid
It's like discovering you have a superpower.
Yeah.
That happened to you in real life.
I feel like that's what's important with kids too. Just in general, just finding something that they latch onto that they feel empowered by is so important. I think it kept me out of a lot of trouble and definitely kept me not pregnant in high school in the South.
Yeah.
Did you date in high school? Because I have another earmarked thing that I heard you say in an interview that I'm curious about.
What's the earmarked thing?
Well, you say that your album Chemistry is called Chemistry because you had never experienced chemistry prior to your ex-husband.
That is true. I remember my first boyfriend.
What grade?
I was a sophomore and he was a senior. And I'm going to be honest with you, he's a really nice guy, so I hate him talking about it. But
call him George.
But I didn't really want to date. I was very focused on getting out of the town I was in. He was kind of chasing me. We were in the same class. He was very nice.
You thought, why not?
Everybody dates. So I was just like, okay, cool. And so I did. It was literally for like 2 months. Like it was nothing. And I remember at the end of it, I kept telling my friend, because I had broken up with him, I was like, you should date him. Like I was just trying to
Sure, because you felt a little guilty maybe.
I felt guilty because he really liked me and I didn't feel that way.
I've had those moments where I was praying the person I was with would cheat on me. Like, God, I hope they meet someone tonight at this bar. Hope something happens. This would be a guilt-free way for me to get out of here.
That sounds healthy.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I've had that feeling, if I'm being honest.
I think a lot of people.
I think so. Yeah, I do too.
I think it's hard to
Listen,
confront
I'd way
someone.
rather be broken up with than break up with somebody. Let me just say that.
100%. Even if it's highly unhealthy, not a good situation, you should feel fine about it. You still feel like a piece of shit.
You do, because you can imagine loving someone that doesn't love you back. What could be sadder? And you're responsible for that.
I don't even think I was open to it.
To romance.
Yeah, I don't think I was open to that kind of depth of love.
What age did that click on?
Honestly, I was singing with the Rascal Flatts. I think it was like 2006, 2007, something like that.
So 4 years after Idol.
Yeah, 2002 is when I went, yes. So I was singing with Rascal Flatts on this song and this guy like walks past me and I'd just gotten out of I'd had a boyfriend for a few months. Like it was always that for me. It was never longer than months. I just was never in. And I think because I never felt what I felt when this person passed me. Yeah. And when he passed me, every thought that you could possibly have about someone.
On this show, we say PQs.
Okay.
Pussy quivers.
Oh.
Yes. We've had a couple different basketball players where Monica would be like, I was PQing like crazy.
Yes.
This is overwhelming.
This was a PQ moment for me.
Great,
yes,
great.
Yes.
It sounds like that. Okay, great.
It was.
It's visceral. You can't help it.
You can't deny it.
It's chemical.
It is.
No, that's why I named the album Chemistry. It's you cannot, and there's like a song on it called I Hate Love as well, because it's like, I hate it. Because You cannot
Can't control.
You can't control it.
Wait, who's this dude who walked by?
My ex.
Oh, no shit.
We just met that night for the first time. And then I didn't run into him until like 6 years later. Like we had randomly seen each other here and there.
I've done some detective work, just very basic, which is I saw that one of your managers was named Blackstock.
2 of my managers have been named Blackstock.
So presumably he's
Father
the
and
son.
Well, he's definitely not the dad.
Right. So my hunch is, so you saw this dude, and then at some point you're working with his dad?
Not
and
then.
Okay.
I didn't realize they were related when I first met him.
Okay.
When I won Idol, I kept begging for a freaking country week, but they're a British-owned company, and they did not understand country music.
Sure.
You're welcome, Carrie Underwood. I was like, I just really wanted to sing country music, and they didn't get it. And so they surprised me in Vegas at this big show at the end of Idol with getting to sing with Reba, because the song I wanted to sing was a Reba song.
The manager's married to Reba. And
so,
your ex-husband's the stepson
yes, but
of
I
Reba?
only met him briefly. I didn't know him. I didn't know his father. I found out the next week. I was like, I ran into this guy.
Yeah.
And then it was so sad because I'd lived in LA at that time, right after Idol. And one of my friends knew somebody who knew him, and he was like, oh, he's married. And I was like, oh, are you serious? Because I didn't really talk to him much, but I just saw him, and I was like,
first round of
he seems
PQs
fun.
and he's taken.
Yeah, and he was taken. So I was like, oh, okay. And then I found out his dad was who his dad was and his stepmom. So then I was like, oh, okay. So we didn't even really run into each other until right on. And then we didn't run into each other until like 6 years later, I think.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
So that was percolating for a very long time.
I think once you feel the PQs,
yes.
you're like, I'm not going to settle.
I love that you're embracing it.
Yeah,
I just want to thank you for that.
I love it.
Yeah, it's classy.
I feel like it is,
Yes,
especially when you say
elevated.
PQ instead of the actual. But I think once you feel something like that, you will accept nothing less.
Huge problem.
It is. I went on one date. Then the next date was him because I was like, I want to wait for that feeling.
Yes,
like I've never
of
felt that
course.
before, and it's exciting.
Okay, great. So we're here exactly where I did interpret it, or at least what I was suggesting was, it's shocking to me that you would have made it to, what were you, 24-ish, we'll say?
Yeah, it's not shocking when you're a person that really thought you were asexual for the longest time.
That's what I want to know about.
Yeah.
How are you explaining it? Because clearly your friends are like PQing off the EQ.
It felt frivolous because everybody was like, oh, I love this person. I'm like, you loved somebody else last week.
Feel fraudulent.
And honestly, childhood issues. I ran into my father again later in life and was like, hey, I live in a shack with my mom and you live in a really nice place. And I ran into him once because my friend made a trip out to Los Angeles with her dad. And I randomly came out. And my mom was like, you have to see your father. And I was like, I don't know him. But then I saw his life and I was like, what the hell?
How you living like this?
We have like salt for dinner. I was like, wait, what? I literally heard him say, oh, honey, you're your mom's family now. I have another family now. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like you hear that from someone that you've been
That's
told in
supposed to be the
movies and
primary
stories
love
and
of your life,
so you don't really trust it.
You can't have a great opinion of men in general.
No, I do
You always
because
do.
I was very fortunate. I was actually talking about this person the other day because he passed away and he's in his 90s. It's fine. He had a well-lived life, but I had a pastor that was the turning point for me. And he literally passed this past week. And he was that guy that would cut out clippings of performances or things that I do and accomplish. And he would just send it in a letter saying, we're so proud of you. Like, so I was fortunately shown in other
Through the church.
areas of my village what it could be and should be.
Did you have
But
stepdads?
Yes.
More than one?
One.
You had one.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Your
It wasn't
silence says a
great
lot.
Experience, yeah.
It does put your life on a path.
You can go either way, right? So I have friends that have had similar upbringings, and I think you go the way of what you've been shown, or you know that you're worthy of better.
Yes, but would you agree that it gives you a spidey sense, which is, there's a new adult present. He's presenting as this way. Oh, when she's not here, he's not that person. Oh, people are duplicitous. The world is full of, it changes your worldview. People are full of shit. You get really good at reading through bullshit.
No, I can't. There's literally a
detect
song
bullshit.
on my new album called Red Flag Collector.
Okay, because you are not a good
Because
bullshit
what
detector.
I did as a child is I did not have the happiest of moments or life, right? So then I think I'm a creative person. So I would create whatever I needed
You
to.
would disassociate and
Fantasy.
live
I
in
would
a fantasy world.
disassociate
Yes.
and live in a fantasy world.
Yeah.
Still the person that loves Harry Potter and magic. And I have to hold on to it. So I'm very bad at that because what I do is I see potential and I see who they really are deep
You see
down.
who you want them to be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Says therapy. And so I'm not good at that. And
Okay.
I'm very easily taken advantage of.
I don't like that. But then it's kind of good you stayed away from boys until you were older.
100%. Yeah. And what helped me, honestly, was singing. I felt like it was my way out of where I was.
You were married and getting fulfilled and had purpose through singing.
And I never wanted to get married. I never wanted children. I never wanted any of that. I was never that girl. Like I had friends that had like books of this is going to be my dress and this is going to be, and I was like, Jesus. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's just in my world, I was just like, you are putting a lot of pressure on something. And it probably statistically is not going to work out. Like, let's just be real. So I never sought after any of that.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
Okay, then without having to tell any of your stepdad's dirty laundry, what do you think you personally left that experience with as an ism?
I learned from a very young age that I would never rely on somebody else financially, emotionally.
Okay, great. Obviously, we had different outcomes, you and I. Like, I think I am a good bullshit detector. But minimally, you have to leave with major trust issues.
So here's the thing. I trust everyone until you screw me over. But I don't know if I'm ever fully in ever.
That's what I'm saying. That's trust.
I don't know. I think we like to label things good, bad, healthy, unhealthy. And I think also we are just a product of our upbringing. Because, okay, here's a lyric on the new album.
Okay.
I'm going to fuck it up. I'm going to,
better
but
sing
it's,
it
I know I can't remember. It's in the song Me, I know. But it's like, I told you I wanted you, but you needed me to need you. That is not who I am. It's never going to be who I am. And I find it far more romantic and far more lovely that someone would choose you
when they
and
don't
not need you.
Yeah.
I find that more meaningful. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the other person is comfortable with that.
Or wrong. It's just who they are.
It's just who they are and how they want to receive love. Love languages, whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know that it's a bad thing. It's just how I am and who I am.
So for me, self-sufficiency was number one. There's limited resources, a lot of guys coming in and out of the picture. You had to have your shit together and get yourself to school and brush your teeth. No one else was watching out for that. So that has made me in relationships like, I'm an island. I'm good. Let's be with each other, but I don't need any interdependence. I'm my own thing. You be your own thing.
But is that so bad to find another island that you don't mind swimming over to each other's island every once in a while?
It's not bad so long as your partner, in my case...
You can have a bridge, like a drawbridge.
But my love language is, I will never drain you.
Yeah.
That's how I show you I love you. I will never cost you a thing. I will just be here to add.
But I think
Whereas
that's beautiful.
my wife's love language is, no. How I would show you that I love you is to do things for you and to care for you. And I want to be cared for. So you can have opposite love languages, which we have. She would love to be in service to one another nonstop. If she asked me to do something, I'm like, I'm not your assistant.
Yeah.
You do your shit, I'll do my shit. I mean, that's my instinct. I have to overcome that. But I think you can cohabitate. But it's only a problem if you recognize that your partner's not getting the love language that they would want.
But interestingly enough, we both did that thing, that whole love language thing, and we're exactly the same. In the same numerical order.
Then why doesn't that work? Because maybe you need to be opposites.
Trying to figure out how to answer this.
Yeah.
It just sometimes doesn't work. Sometimes you try and you try. And maybe we both had similar damage done to us when we were younger. Maybe that plays a role. But it was a really hard thing for me to be with someone that maybe needed me to be somebody I could never be. And I never told you I was.
Yeah.
Like from the beginning, even in this song, Lighthouse, the things you loved and held up in such high regard and were so attracted to are the things I'm being persecuted for.
Yeah.
In the end.
Yeah. By the way, I think you're in a very uniquely terrible position. And I've had numerous hugely powerful women in here that all deal with the same fucking issue, which is men have a very hard time being lower status than their wives. It takes a very special man that can live with a woman who's much more powerful in the world, makes more money, gets more attention, has more say because of all those things. That is very hard for many men to deal with, and it's very unfair, and it puts a lot of you in a position where these men are attracted to your brilliance, but then as soon as they're living with it, they're very threatened by your brilliance.
I don't know if it's exactly that, because he grew up with Reba McEntire as a stepmother, and his father was her man. You know what I'm saying? It was a very similar, and his mother is very powerful. I don't think that's just it.
To your point of this is the thing that attracted you to me, I think it's very common for people to fall in love with that thing and then ultimately feel threatened by that thing, that thing's more important than they are.
Yes. And I do think that rings true for a lot of relationships.
And it takes a very confident person to be okay with that. My wife wants to sing on Broadway more than she wants to do anything with me.
I love that.
And I'm going to have to be fine with that
Yeah.
and supportive of that, which I can be.
They're different desires.
The truth might even be, though, at gunpoint, you pick one of these two things.
No,
I might
it's
not
not.
get picked.
No, it's not. I don't buy that. I think
I'm
they're
just saying,
different loves.
hypothetically, could you love somebody who does have a first love that's in front of you?
I am attracted to people. I'm not saying even sexually. I just mean I am attracted to people that have their own shit going on.
Yes, of course.
I am attracted to people that love being productive. I am attracted to people that have their own drive, their own ambition.
Competency, industry.
Yes. People that are attracted to me seem to be people that are really into people that have a lot of drive and ambition. Maybe some of the things they might be lacking that they adore, but then get very resentful because they
start
why
feeling
can't they
shitty.
be that? Why
Yes.
can't they feel? I want
They start
to feel
comparing
that.
themselves to you.
Yes, which is
and
so
then they
dangerous in
feel
general.
shitty about themselves.
Yes, which is
Yeah.
self-sabotaging,
Yeah. It can
which
be
we're
rough.
all guilty of.
Oh my
So-
God,
Yeah.
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 It can be rough when you desire a characteristic that your partner so effortlessly displays. It's just a big mirror and all the time. I can understand it being hard for
Yeah.
that other person.
Well, because they pick you because they think it'll like rub off on them or something, that the proximity will mean something. It will bleed into them and then it doesn't. And then they're upset about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially where I'm from. It's like, oh, we're half and half and make a whole. Even in my marriage, I've never thought that. I think that's very dangerous. Let's say you believe in God. Let's say you don't. Whatever you believe in, there is no one like you. You are so special. Everyone. Even if you have a twin, I know twins. They're very different from each other. We're so special. Why would you give that up? Why would you need to let half of yourself go, basically, in order to allow somebody else in? It makes more sense to me to be a complete person, find another complete person. And I think confidence plays a huge thing here because insecurity is the most unattractive thing in the
That
land.
should be a new song on your next album.
It's such an,
Let's see if we can crack it right now.
right now.
When you look at me and then look at your shoes. You came over here and had too many beers. Let me take off your shoes and remove your denim
Are you going to
jeans.
write the Broadway musical for Kristen?
No, this is for Monica and Matt now.
Oh, I disassociated during that.
Well, he
so
was-
I
Special.
didn't.
I disassociated. I chose to leave the
Yeah,
room
I really
emotionally.
did. I had to go.
She gets very nervous when I sing.
I think it's never that we've had a singer in where you haven't sang.
That's definitely
We
true.
bring it out of
but I
people.
also sing quite
All the time.
often.
You do, you
yeah.
do, you
It's
do.
not just specifically when y'all are
But
here.
it's just
Singing
I
feels
notice
good.
it more.
It's like dancing.
There you go.
People talk about what superpower you'd want. Like, do you want to fly? Do you want to be invisible? And I have many times said, if I could reticulate my jaw and let all the air come out and it sounded like Adele. That would be my, because
It
I
would be
know.
a little weird coming out of your body, that sound, but okay, I'm accepting
I
it.
wouldn't care what anyone thought if I just let it rip, because I do love singing so much and I'm
Yeah.
terrible at it. But that would be for me, I think, the best feeling.
I feel like it's a gift.
Do you feel it when you fucking let it rip?
There's definitely rough moments when you're like, that was not my best. But yeah, no, when you practice for something, you execute it, and it works out even better than you planned. Yeah, that's a really awesome feeling.
In the moment, though, the process, forget the outcome of it.
It feels like a superpower.
Because the only thing I can compare to is like riding a motorcycle on the track is the one thing I'm pretty darn good at.
Yeah.
And there are moments where I'm just like flying by dudes in a turn. And I'm like, "Ooh," like I can feel
Yeah.
this sense of power.
I felt it when I used to snowboard in my 20s. I'd like fly by people, and I'm not even that great at it, but I'd be like, better than you. Yeah.
Okay, you'll sing around the house. Do you find yourself singing like in the shower?
I literally was just singing in the shower because D Smooth was the last artist I had on The Voice. Like it just wrapped up and we had this duet. And last minute, song clearance is a really fun thing in the TV world. And we had to switch not only one of his songs, but had to switch what we were singing as a duet.
Ooh.
So I was like,
Like with how much heads up?
24 hours possibly. Yeah.
God.
Or less than that. I found out before rehearsal what we were doing. So I was practicing because it's interesting to sing harmony when no one's singing lead. I was doing it, I guess, so much that my daughter came in and she goes, really like this song, don't you? And I was like, because I'm usually singing in the shower, but not to this extent. But I was like
Yes.
really trying to nail like what I was going to do and navigate it because we're both singers that never really sing the same thing twice. We could sing the same song, but it comes out differently every time. Yeah, fun when when you're a solo artist, but not when you're, you know, creating
You have
a
to
duet.
be in harmony with someone else.
So that could be a little scary. So anyway, she was like, oh, we're singing. That's great. And my 9-year-old's like, are you done? They do get excited. I don't know the age difference of our kids. Mine are 7 and 9.
8 and 10.
They think it's awesome when we're out and people come up, then all of a sudden they're right beside me. It's more my daughter. You know, she'll be right beside me and she'll be like, oh, hi. And like she's
She has the pride that you're her mother.
Yes.
Yes,
That's
that's
nice.
lovely.
Yeah.
It can go either way.
Yeah, it really can. And
Yeah.
it probably in 2.0 seconds is about
Oh,
to.
yeah. When she's 13.
Yeah, she's going to be
savor
like, I'm
it
so
now.
over you, Mom. Yeah.
Okay, wrapping up, to me, you not going and pursuing the college path, which was a much safer route, showed some level of conviction and bravery and belief in yourself. The thing that blows my mind even beyond that is the notion that you had been offered a recording contract with both Interscope and Jive.
One of those I remember is right, but it was like a subsidiary.
Okay,
You know, like
something
how
under
under
the
the umbrella
umbrella.
of Universal, there's
Yeah.
several labels. So it was that. But the situation was you have to do this, we own this, we own that. And I was just like, you know what? I'm a really great waitress.
I think that's a rare
That
choice.
is.
But here's why it's, yes, you can call it brave. My
What
goal
would-
was to be a background singer.
Okay, but slow down
Okay.
for 1 second. What if we took a second and patted ourselves on the back?
Oh, totally. No,
What
I
would-
do
what
think
would
I'm a
happen?
brave person. I'm okay with it. Enough
Okay.
therapy.
I don't know.
3.5
Are you?
years in. Yes.
That's pretty fucking gangster. You're 19 or 20 years old. You've come to LA
Yeah.
and you have a bird in the hand and you say, no, thank you. That's pretty astounding. If you would have offered me a show, Dax Shepard sucks dicks behind Arby's when I was 19, I would have been like, yeah, absolutely. How many years are we doing this?
Oh, no. It is brave. I do have a fair amount of confidence and like self-worth, but I also think that it has to do with the fact that that was not my actual goal. So my
Okay.
goal was not to be a solo artist. My goal in moving to Los Angeles was
Yeah.
to be a background singer because I loved singing different genres of music. I wanted to go on tour
Yeah.
with all these amazing artists that I love, and I love harmony. That was my dream.
Okay, that makes sense.
And so for somebody to hand me some shitty ass contract that's basically you're giving your firstborn away. No, thanks. I'm an all in or all out kind of person. I will dive right in, even if somebody says it's a bad idea. If it's something I want to do,
Yeah.
I'll do it.
I think you've demonstrated that
Yeah.
numerous times.
I feel like I have to.
Okay, so I was thinking about this. I'm not great at years. I also don't know if something was 5 minutes ago or 6 years ago.
I'm not good at time in general.
Yeah, and as I've gotten older, it's just getting worse and worse and
Yeah.
worse. But some part of me was like, oh, wow, yeah. So I was watching that first American Idol in my apartment in Santa Monica with my ex-girlfriend, Brie. I had no hopes of being on TV yet at that point. I was obsessed like everyone else was. It was the most thrilling thing in the world when you won. It was like justice had been served. The right person won. It was so triumphant. I then, because I'm a cynic and skeptical and I'm pessimistic, I'm like, well, that was her 4 seconds.
By the way, me too.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you about because
yeah.
I thought this is so incredible, but so much of it is about this experience.
Does it transfer over to actual career? I don't know if they do now, but they wouldn't allow you to do original music because
Right.
a lot of us were writers. And I actually think Justin Guarney would have had a bit of an edge because he was a better writer than all of us. I had that same thought too. I did have the thought of like, man, maybe I won't have to wait tables. I'll at least be able to get BGV work, like
It felt
background
too good
work.
to be true that someone would get launched as a solo artist out of that.
Let me tell you why I think that show works
Okay.
when sometimes others don't. That show was created by a person that owned a record label.
Simon Fuller.
Yes.
Yeah.
That also is a management company. If he invests in these artists that are on the show, it's all full circle, right?
Yeah.
So if
Yeah,
you invest
yeah.
in the artist and you actually put your money out and help them with a career, he's very smart, even before Idol, Pop Idol, which is where American Idol came from, which is in the UK. If you're helping these artists, then they're helping the credibility of your show.
He's invested in the outcome of you being
He's
a solo.
invested in
yes.
all of it. He's
'Cause it
invested
proves
as a
the
manager, he
show,
makes
yeah.
money. As a label, he
Yeah.
makes money. The TV show makes money because it's more lucrative because people believe in it because it's got credibility.
Yeah.
So that show stands out above all the others for that reason.
Are you so flattered when you hear Simon Cowell say that of all the Idol winners, you are by far the best singer?
I'm extremely flattered because I know that he does not throw out compliments like
No.
that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I love hearing him say that because I never know if I can parse out how much of it was just the first experience with that show. And you don't know if you've been swayed by the momentum of that whole thing. This gal's the best singer on planet Earth. Where was she? That's what I'm thinking watching the show.
Yeah.
So to hear him kind of confirm that, I really just enjoyed.
There are incredible singers out there that don't get the opportunity or get contracts like that happened to me put in their face, it's like, no way. I'm not doing that. Even with Simon Fuller, he let me out of my deal. I was unhappy because he wasn't really able to manage me. It was all the other people, and it was just a really hard situation. I just was not happy. I didn't feel safe. I didn't feel whatever I felt I needed to feel. And he not only let me out, he said, girl, I will help you find a manager. I will help you navigate this. There was another part of my career when I parted ways with a manager, and he, you know, even popped back up to my same lawyer that I've had since I was like, hey, if she ever needs anything, just let me know. Like, he's legitimately the greatest guy ever.
Oh, that's so nice to hear.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm curious about. I think we might have this in common. Okay. But we've had nothing in common, even though we've had the same childhoods and stuff. So maybe this will fall apart too. Yeah. So I was on this show, Punk'd, first season.
Yeah.
I owe every single thing to Punk'd, but I had such a chip on my shoulder that I was coming off of a reality TV show. I wanted to distance myself from Punk'd so much.
Really?
In the first 5 years. I felt embarrassed that I had gotten famous from a reality show.
It's amazing what
that
our
I wasn't
ego
a
does.
real actor, that I was a reality show person, and that people thought that about me.
Yeah.
And it was this huge hurdle. It took me years to actually be able to look at Punk'd and go, that was excellent. And that was a wonderful thing. And I just wondered, did you leave with any baggage?
I don't have a lot of ego or pride. I don't get embarrassed. I'm just not a person that generally puts time or effort into those thoughts. So I went on every single season, I think, after and came and showed up, and they were like, hey, can you come back? Because you're like a success story. I'm very supportive because also I'm well aware that Celine Dion made it huge because of Eurovision.
Yeah.
That's a singing contest.
Oh, I don't know that.
You can like
That's
her or not,
history?
but she's a fucking beast of a singer.
Yeah.
That should have definitely been in the top 200, Rolling Stone. But anyway, you know, same thing. Frank Sinatra, I heard he had won a contest. A lot of people that we adore and hold up as classics.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I think because I come from nothing, I'm like, who the hell cares how you get here?
Yeah.
It's how you stay. Longevity is the prize.
And listen, I would never be looking at you thinking that, but
No,
I
I'm
was
saying
feeling
you shouldn't
that.
look at you.
Nor do I now, but from 28 to 33, I had a big chip on
Yeah.
my shoulder about it.
But also,
Yeah, that
Idol
was-
at that time was also really cool.
No. I had a really hard time because the first season we were jokes.
They didn't have stylists. They sent him to the mall. They gave her
Right.
some money and sent her to the mall.
Right.
So
And by
like,
the way,
good
I
luck.
pocketed that shit because I was like, who knows what's going to happen here? Even afterwards, though, we went to like, I think it was like MTV Awards or something, and people were not nice. There were
industry.
people that were nice, but that was rare. Like a lot of
Yeah.
people were very demeaning and like, oh, you're from the talent show, right?
That's the thing
I know,
I'm
but
talking
that's
about.
their
But it
problem,
didn't
not
bother-
yours.
That's so healthy of you. What has the power to make you insecure then?
I'm not really an insecure person, but doubtful, that can be me if I like someone. I don't get
Okay.
insecure about it because I feel like I'm a secure person and I'm worthy of a person, but I think I'm not good at reading people. So that makes me doubtful. But when you're talking about things that you're not happy with or something or you didn't want to be associated with, so when I won, I kind of wanted Justin to win. And Justin wanted to win because he wanted to do this movie that you had to do if you won. And I did not want to do a movie because I have
What's it
never
called,
had
Justin
a
and Kelly
dream
or something?
from Justin to Kelly.
From Justin
It
to
will be
Kelly.
playing
Yeah.
in hell near you. Anyway, the people were nice. Just I never wanted to be an actress. And you're forcing someone that is just a singer-songwriter into a position that literally makes me have diarrhea. Like I get like nervous
A little
tummy.
IBS-y.
Total IBS.
Yes.
No fun
I'm
PQs
saying-
going on.
No.
Just the other letters.
Yeah.
So I think I begged my label and I begged Simon Fuller. I was like, you've got to let me release my single, my album before this thing comes out or I am dead.
Right.
I will tank.
After
And
all this good, positive stuff, you're
I know.
like, I'm
so-
about to erase
and
all
they
this.
did, though. They let me release my music. So Miss Independent came out and it was #1 for like weeks. That song is what helped me overcome that because I did not want to do that. And it is not good.
It's not a great movie.
It's really
I
not.
kind of want to see it now.
She's never
know.
seen it
I've never
because
seen
she's a
it.
friend. And I said, if you're a friend, you will never. And it's not you're not into like musical movies anyway.
What was it?
What is it?
Horrible.
But,
is-
are you
is
guys
it
playing
about you
yourself? Are you
guys?
playing?
No.
Oh, it's
no. Oh my God, I
fictional.
distorted the microphone. I got so emotional. No, it's not about us. It was like a fictional story. And they kept referencing this. So I don't even know what I'm referencing because I've never seen these. But they kept saying, oh, it's like, is it Frankie Valli and Funicello? What is the name?
Who knows? those?
Whatever. These older people from yesteryear that used to make movies on a beach or something, like beach blanket movies or something.
Oh,
or,
sure. Elvis used to do those as well.
Yeah, that's not my vibe. It's not my vibe to watch. It's not my vibe to be in. Because the only acting I've ever done is on stage, and that's very different.
Surely.
You're in the moment. It's one time through. That energy
Why did they
is my
want you
vibe.
guys to do this?
Cash
Money.
in. Yeah. It's got a
yeah.
ring.
It's bad.
Yeah.
But they thought,
I'll tell
not
you
good
what,
for the brand.
There's some hardcore fans.
also,
I bet,
they
actually.
didn't think it was going to be bad. No one like sets out to make a bad movie.
But I told them in my
Right.
closet crying in Texas in my apartment. I was like, this is going to be horrible. I am very aware of my capabilities, what I'm comfortable with and what I'm not going to excel in.
Yeah, you're like, I'm not being faux humble. I'm just not good at this.
This is not me doing any kind of situation like that. This is me being really honest.
Okay, now I'm going to fast forward. I'm going to go really quick
it.
because we just got to let everyone know.
Just
So
fast
that
forward it.
first album off of Idol, 4.5 million copies, huge
Thankful.
success. Then you get a different manager. Next album, Breakaway, 12 million
Huge.
albums sold, 2 Grammys.
That's when albums sold.
Yeah, aren't you glad you got the tail end of that?
I always get the tail end of every industry.
Yeah, you're kind of the tail end of a daytime
I get
talk
it.
show
I
as
really
well.
get
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Dax, it's our internal joke. They're like, oh, you know what? I'll get right in right when it's ending.
Yeah.
Funny.
But better to
my
have got in at
thing.
the end than that
Exactly.
never got
It's
in.
my
yes.
thing.
Okay, and then My December, it's darker, whatever, still does well, but people
Well,
thought
there's
it's
a
too
lot of
dark.
bad press around that,
Yeah.
yeah.
But who gives a fuck? Then we go on to All I Ever Wanted, second #1 album, then Stronger, best pop vocal album, only person to win twice. It's nonstop. You become so successful. You're one of the very most successful singers of all time. Take that opportunity and you sell 25 million albums and 45 million singles. You go on, 8 tours?
I have no idea. A lot of places. I saw really no cities, just the venues in airplane.
Well, I was going to ask you how touring life is for you.
I loved it in my 20s. It was a very good time that I was like single, no children.
Would you bring
like,
friends with you?
family, friends. I don't know how people work in an environment where y'all aren't friends. Anybody you even work with, your band, your crew, that becomes your road family and your friends as well. And I'd bring family and friends out as well.
Did you
but
learn to have fun on the road? I guess that's my main question.
I had to learn because I'm also from that classically trained background where I was miserable for like the
Resting
first
your
and never
voice
talking and never going out and micromanaging myself. I was not fun the first few years and
Yeah.
then I got fun.
Okay. And what were
With
the...
tequila.
That'll help. That'll make things real
Yeah,
fun
then
fast.
I was burning bras in the back of an amphitheater. I was like,
Yeah.
this is great.
Yeah, I'm frying my voice and I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I
Sorry,
was like-
San
and you know
Antonio.
what? It turns out they don't really care either. Like,
Yeah.
so it's like,
They're
They're
drinking tequila
as
too.
well.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone's sipping on the same sauce. Which of your peers are you most blown away by?
pink.
That's the one. What do you think about Adele?
Oh, I love Adele. I mean, that was just my first.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I
I
like
love
that.
that.
I wasn't challenging it.
The thing that stands out for me about Pink is I just love how real she is on and off camera. She's the same person.
Oh yeah.
And I love how honest she is. I love that she can be playful and sing like fun, silly songs, but also do these really cut you right to the bone
Yeah.
songs.
Does she have the best voice?
I think that's subjective.
It is,
So,
right? It's your personal taste.
Yeah, I think of my generation, she's my favorite.
Oh wow. Are you guys pals?
I love her. We don't barbecue regularly. We both got 2 kids and like a lot
Yeah.
going on, but I find a lot of commonalities with her
Yeah,
and
you guys
similarities.
seem similar.
I feel she's like a comfortable place for
She's
me.
good people. That's what we
Yeah.
say. She's good people.
But
Yeah.
you know, many people would answer that question with you.
Of course.
Many people I know, you're our friend Jess's absolute favorite.
Aw.
He is a singer and knows all the stuff, and he thinks just technically you're perfect.
Oh my
Well,
gosh.
I think the thing that I keep reading as I research you that people are most blown away with is your unique ability to hop into any fucking song.
I love different genres. It's so frustrating when the industry forces artists who are innately limitless. Like an artist does not want to be limited to say, this is your genre, this is what you're doing. The talk show has been the best form of that for me, just to be able to really attack different genres, whether it's Foo Fighters or Rosemary Clooney or whatever it is. I just love all different styles of music. You know, a lot of people say, oh man, she's the artist that can do that. I think there are a lot of other artists that can do that. They just don't have the opportunity.
Okay.
That's nice
Nah,
of you.
that's
but
nice
I
of you,
think,
but I
yeah.
bet you're still the best at it.
Yeah.
I think I think that's serious. I think
I know you're serious,
Yeah.
but also it's bullshit. But anyways, but it's cute. It's really cute that you think that.
Kind. It's
Yeah,
kind.
it's really
I
big
know
of
that.
you. Let's talk about the talk show. That's a huge, well, it is and it isn't, I guess, because you've done 9 seasons of The Voice, maybe,
9.
which is incredible. 2014 to now 23. You took 1 year off, maybe?
I took 1 year off because I did something with Snoop Dogg. Yeah. Another
Which,
show.
by the way,
I love love working with him so
I
much.
I need to know. We need to stop
Okay.
whatever question I was asking
Here.
because that is one of my questions. Can I just give you backstory?
Yes.
I think I can talk to anybody. In fact, I'm cocky and entitled.
Yeah.
I think I can get down with any group of people.
All right. I think I'm that person too.
I've sensed that.
I don't think that's cocky. I think it's just like you like people.
Snoop is the only person I've ever been talking to where I got insanely self-conscious about how white I am. I'm like, oh my God, I sound like a newscaster. I was like, I have no rhythm right now. I was so intimidated.
Oh, wow.
So
because you've been a fan for so long, right?
Yeah, I was overwhelmed. He's got like 9 things to say about you.
Yeah.
He's very generous.
Literally the person, by the way, that doesn't just talk to the famous people in the room. That's what I love about him. He talks to everyone.
Yeah. The thing you like about Pink is the thing I like about Snoop, which is this dude has stayed the exact same, yet wandered into kids' movies, wandered into this, wandered into that.
While being a complete stoner, it's
Yeah,
awesome.
never losing who he is,
Yeah.
being authentic, but traveling through every little group.
I think it's important because I think people will look at rappers and think limited, and they're not. Once again, like I think that people are capable of doing more than you're allowing them to live and be.
What's one behind the scenes thing that cracked you up a lot about Snoop?
First of all, I am astonished because anytime I've ever been high in my life, I can't work. I can sit on a couch. Like it's called Into Couch for a reason. Like so I've never been able to move. And people are highly productive.
Oh, Seth
And
Rogen.
it's almost like with their personality, I need it. It levels me, right? And I've worked with like, actually a lot of artists that are like that. So professional, on time, kind to everyone. But this one time, because he would have to take a break, because I think American Song Contest was like 2 hours or something.
He's got to smoke every, half hour?
So he
right?
has to leave, and then he's got his own wheels that come in with his ride or whatever. And he leaves during the live show. They're like, oh, he'll be right back.
Yeah, he's got to use the bathroom.
It was hilarious, but I think everyone knew. It's like having Willie Nelson on set. But he would come back, and every time I was floored that he was just holding his own, like stoned.
it's
Like I was just like,
impressive.
this is impressive.
Yeah.
But there was one time, it's a live show. Like
Yeah.
I don't remember if he was turned the wrong way or he's looking or he didn't see it. I just picked it up and I just like kind of whatever.
Yeah.
After thinking, he goes, oh, mama, thank you. he was like, I'm so sorry. I didn't see that. And I was like, I didn't want to interrupt you, but I was like, does he see that?
Is he with us?
Yes, but that happened once. It's a live show.
Yeah.
Like that's hard for people that aren't inebriated or stoned.
Yeah.
It was hysterical. I love him though. I would work with him at any point.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
Okay, back to the daytime talk show. So I still think a really big swing. It's not worked out for more people than it has worked out for.
Which I didn't
in
know.
that space. Probably great you didn't
No,
know
that's
that.
why ignorance was bliss. I had no idea statistically that I was doomed to fail.
They approached you.
They approached me. I was on The Voice and it was NBC and they were like, hey, we have this idea to do a talk show with you. And I said, okay, no. I was like, I'm not a journalist. I'm not a comedian. I'm not even an actor. I'm none of the things that I feel like those people are. And they were like, we just love your personality on the air and you're really good at engaging and we think you do really well.
Yeah, you know how to connect to people.
Yeah. So I will say I'll give credit to my ex in the sense that he really pushed me to do the show.
What was it he saw in it for you that you weren't seeing?
He just would always say, I just know you're going to be really great at it. And I don't think he knew if I'd like it or not, but I think he thought I would be great at it.
It's a very, very hard job.
It's really,
I don't think people realize. Oh, it's not. Oh,
I know people say that. And look, I'm just going to be honest with you.
what a wonderful
I know
reveal.
it's really not. You know why?
Tell me.
You're great at talking. If you enjoy talking, if you're a curious person naturally,
Yeah.
you're communicative in general, you surround yourself with a team of people that obviously do all the homework for you. I don't know how to do that. They go to school for that. I'm the person on stage just implementing the plan. And then also taking it where I want to because they're like, well, she didn't stick to the script at all. But I'm a naturally curious person. I told them from the get-go, I'm not putting any pressure on myself. This is not a job I ever thought I would
If you
excel
failed,
at.
you would have been able to dust off
So,
quickly.
yeah, so I'm just like, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to need you to let me be me and do it how I do it. Because I can't be Oprah and I can't be Ellen. I can't be any of those people. So they let me incorporate it with music.
Real quick question. So I interviewed Ellen about this same thing, which
Yeah.
is she danced in the pilot of her talk show as a whim. And they were like, that works. You have to dance every show now.
Oh.
And she came to hate dancing, that she had to do it. So I'm wondering, part of what you do is you sing a ton.
Yeah. I'm 95% of the time excited because I love music. I still am a kid. I'm not jaded at all in that sense. Even when I suck, I'm like, well, tried it.
Well, I like having sex, but if I had to fuck every day at 10 a.m., I
That's
would
not
soon
fun.
hate it.
Scheduled sex is not
I
fun.
would hate it. So
Send
you
out
might
an alert.
no PQs,
No
anti-Qs.
scheduled PQ.
Yeah, so even something you love,
Yeah.
if you have to do it every single day.
Well, I think it's usually when I was doing The Voice, the talk show, doing album stuff, and being a mother, it was all that at once was a lot for me that I would be like,
and you
why?
do occasional performances as well that pop up, I'm sure.
We do. We did implement though, and we started it in the first season. We store up ones that we record, but also sometimes we just do like a karaoke encore is what we call it. And we just do a throwback because I'm like, guys, I can't today.
Yeah.
Today's not the day.
And that's okay.
Yeah, you got to let yourself off.
It's
the
real.
Yeah.
They've been very good and trusting. So it's not a hard job.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that. I have friends who have similar jobs and the relentless, endless 5 a week, that whole thing.
Well, mine's 3 days a week and we do 2 shows a day.
That's perfect.
Yeah. So it's like I get enough of a break.
Yeah. Good.
I think also because it's not my main thing. I mean, it is a main thing. I just mean I have other things going on to break up the monotony because tomorrow I'm going to be singing somewhere. Today I'm doing this.
Yeah, I got you. Now, since starting it, it's hugely successful. They've renewed you to 2025. Tons of Emmys right out of the gate you win.
Crazy.
You have a very charmed life, and
I
I'm
do.
sure you're aware of it. But
Yes,
just the
very
notion
blessed.
that you win Idol, you sell
Okay, I
gazillion
didn't actually
albums,
put these bullet points together.
you lots of Grammys, you pop into
I kind of
TV.
sound like an asshole now.
No.
There's
It's
a version where we would hate you, but we don't. That's where
there's
I'm
a
going
version
with
where I
this.
hate myself. You don't understand. I literally said this on the way here today. I was like, man, I forget because I'm interviewing people all the time now. And I've been doing tons of interviews where I'm having to talk about myself. And I'm
Yeah.
like, kind of want to barf Kelly Clarkson right now. Like, that's why I've enjoyed a lot of this conversation, though, because it's not like just about the same thing I've been talking about. It's about all things.
Well, I hope so.
I think that's enjoyable when
Yeah,
people
yeah.
do that because it changes it up.
Okay. So you do so much. All these shows we just said. Congratulations on all of them. Everything you do, you win an award for, and it's usually successful.
Not
it's really
true.
crazy.
And I've lost way more awards than I've won.
Okay.
I think if you weren't so approachable, you seem very normal and approachable and real, then people might hate you. But people can relate to you. So when you're winning, it feels good. It's like, maybe I could win or something, which is totally wrong.
Yeah, no one else can win.
No one else
because she's
can.
winning everything. There's nothing left for anyone
It's
to win.
true.
Yeah.
I have lost
But-
so much, you guys.
I think that's the hack, though.
Okay. So much stuff. And I guess I think I was a little unaware of how much stuff you've been doing. I mean, it's so much stuff.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's
I like to
9
be busy.
seasons of The Voice, and
Yeah.
it's many seasons of your own show, and it's the Snoop Dogg show, and it's 8 albums, and it's 8 tours, and it's now a new album. How many days can you go doing nothing before you fucking lose your mind? It's got to be an issue.
It is not.
It's not.
Every time I go to Montana, my entire crew is afraid I'm never going to come back.
You go off grid.
It's a solid guess that I might do.
Yeah.
Because I love being off grid. But I am always like, right now, I just built these 4 little 1-bedroom cabins for like family and friends if they come visit. And like right now, I'm like planning for this outdoor movie thing that we can all do. I'm planning for this party barn that we're doing and setting it all up. I'm building a kitchen. I'm always doing things because I like a project. I like to be productive. But I am very good at sitting in front of the fireplace and just sitting and checking out.
Okay, good. That makes me feel a little better.
Sometimes I need help with that to slow down.
By way of tequila
By
or
way of tequila
marijuana, falling
or
to the
Mary
couch.
Jane, like just
Yeah,
something.
sweet Mary
Something.
Jane.
Sometimes because I'm very like.
You want to be able to dial
I feel
everything
like your
down a
wife's
little bit.
energy is similar to mine in the sense of I feel like she goes.
She goes hard,
I
and
go
she's
hard.
like you, or she just wakes up places, and she can do it. Like she'll wake up on a talk show, and she's in the middle of reading a thing.
You're like, okay, this is what I'm doing.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I'm like that too. I sometimes need like a glass of wine, something to slow me down to where I can be still.
I've been aspiring towards you guys because anything that's coming up, I just have that sense of homework a lot. And I think about what's coming up next. And I've been trying over the last few years to literally just find out the night before what I'm doing the next day, which has been very helpful.
It's extremely helpful to not have the entire schedule in your face. I'm
It's
I'm
overwhelming.
capable of doing a lot more when it's just day by day,
Yes.
Yeah.
And then that requires you to trust people in your life to help you.
implicitly. Yes.
Yes. Okay, so we talked about the premise of chemistry. It's covering the full range, though,
It's like an emotional roller coaster of an entire relationship.
from the PQs to the desperation of loneliness and potentially feeling Like you're going to be lonely forever and all those feelings?
Yeah, I don't know. There's not really a song like that.
I wish we had a medal prepared for you. You haven't agreed with one thing I said.
No.
And I love it.
No,
I'm very proud of you.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
No, because what I'm saying is it's not exactly like to where you feel like you'll be alone the rest of life, because I don't think that there's necessarily anything wrong with that. But I feel like to have loved like I never thought I was capable of, to have felt that and lose that.
You feel that
It's
loss.
devastating.
Yes.
It's grief. And so the
Yes.
stages of grief are on it.
I've had ultimate conviction that I have to end this. This person feels differently than I do. I go and end it. It's miserable. And then I leave. And then like a day later, I'm like, maybe I'm super in love with them.
No, so that's
Just like as
why
a
the
normal
song I Hate
swing.
Love exists. And it's also a huge decision, especially if it's not just like a boyfriend, girlfriend. This is a marriage. That means
family.
something.
Yeah.
This is a family.
Unit.
This is affecting more than just myself. So I think that's the thing that really is devastating, is having to carry that weight of what is going to happen if you make this decision.
All the implications.
And honestly, a lot of the songs are me on the fence, of how much more could I possibly give to Tribe? Am I depleted, or is
See,
there room?
And I think that's the wonderful zone to explore, because you're right. Most songs are either about falling in love or breaking up. And so often the bulk of it's like not really knowing.
Yeah. There's a song on the album called Magic. It feels magical and special. How could I run away from that? But at the same time, it's very unhealthy environment.
Also a big fear for me, at least when I've left really substantial relationships, is like, well, that'll never happen again.
I think because I never felt that before, and having felt it once, I don't know, I think I'm an optimist. I think that I'm capable of that.
Oh, that's good.
That's very good.
A better version of that,
Yes,
I
'cause
think.
you've
A
learned.
healthier version.
Yeah, a healthier version, for sure.
Okay, now back to LA. What is unhealthy about it? You've used the word unhealthy several times in your explanation for why you're leaving LA to go
Yeah.
to New York. What is the element that feels unhealthy?
I know it sounds silly, but not having seasons does affect me emotionally. It's also the ever climbing of the ladder. I just feel this energy that people are always trying, and then you get sucked into it. And it's like, when is enough enough? Are you ever going to be satisfied?
I can answer that for you, no, but yes, continue.
Yeah, but it's like, that's so hard. I've been very blessed. Like if right now my show got canceled, or we didn't do it, or nobody wanted to hear a record from Kelly Clarkson again, I'm fine. I've built
already
such
did
a
it.
beautiful life. And that's the thing, the privilege of being able to do it. I think people lose sight of that. Even if you're able to be in one major movie, right?
Oh, yes.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
People
Yes.
would die to have that opportunity. I think we get lost in that. Society tells us that that's not successful, or we tell ourselves that's not successful, but this person's successful. And I bet you if you talk to that person, they're still thinking of what they haven't accomplished, or they want more. Like it's just,
Well,
this town has that vibe.
My hunch was some of that was in play because I live on this side of town, which is helpful. There's no real billboards around me. I don't ever see them. I go to Bel Air once in a while to go to an AA meeting, and I drive down Sunset. And when I drive down Sunset, I'm reminded of how triggering all of the billboards are. It's everyone you know. They're in all these different things. I have the thought, oh, I'm not on a billboard.
And you're also reminded by society that this is what success is. And that's not true. I know I'm at the risk of sounding like a self-help book right now, but it is
You should
incredible.
dip your toe into that water. I'm sure
It
you'd
is-
win a Pulitzer.
I'm sure I've read a billion. My therapist, literally her one thing to me was like, you are not allowed
Stop
to read
reading.
self-help or anything you're going to educate yourself on. I want you reading fiction. Like,
Yeah.
it's just hard for me because I like learning, but I don't want to just shit on it because it's also a very beautiful, creative environment.
Big time.
At the risk of that is a constant craving for more. One, it's not healthy, but two, that's not a happy life.
You're right.
Why can't you just be happy for that person? Like, okay, they're killing it on that,
Yeah,
you
like
know?
in a dream world, you would get on an elevator in Montana and you would come out onto your soundstage.
In a dream world, they let me
you're-
move the show to Montana and not New York.
Yes, yes. And then you could just escape every other part of it.
Yes, because it comes back to that initial dream. I wanted to be a background singer. I did not handle fame well in my 20s. It crushed me that I couldn't go anywhere and people would not notice me. Not the fact that like, oh, poor girl, that people notice her. I had a certain point in my garage in Texas and I was like 24 and it was like, I can't take it back.
Yeah.
I had the same
I can't
moment,
take
and it
it
was
back.
also in Texas. I went to a Fuddruckers by myself, and I noticed like 90% of the people in the restaurant were staring at me, and I was by myself, and I felt so self-conscious. And I went outside and called my girlfriend. I'm like, I don't know what I did. I don't want it.
Oh, I cried like
Yeah,
hardcore in my garage. And my brother was like, should I call someone? It was overwhelming. And the thought that I could stop then and it's still going to be there. You know,
Yes,
it's
yes.
always going to be there. So I learned to lean into that.
Well, you have to accept it.
You have to accept
Ultimately,
it.
you have to go, And now what? Because that's life. Okay, so my therapist has helped me through this. For me, of course, you won't agree. A lot of me not being able to enjoy that attention is I didn't really feel worthy of it.
Okay, so a lot of mine is I feel guilty. Why me? Why did I make it out? Why did I get to do this?
Like survivor's guilt.
Yes. And my business managers, my 20 are like, you have to stop. Because I'd feel guilty. So I'd
give everyone.
Yeah. And then you have a lot of transactional relationships, which are very bad. Yeah.
And then when people are texting or calling you, it just immediately changes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. When the phone rings, someone you
not
normally
jaded.
love
That's
to talk to.
what normally happens.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, fuck. This person I normally love getting a call from. Now I'm nervous.
That sucks.
It's a bummer. But my mom fixed that for me, by the way. She gave me the best advice. She said, in life, you can either be the person calling for help or the person giving help. Just what one do you want? I'm like, I guess I'd rather be getting called for help.
But in life, I think also you could be both.
You should be both.
Sure.
Am I disagreeing with you again?
No. The important thing was there was two players in this situation. I just remind myself, well, you know, it could be worse. I could be calling and asking for help. That would actually be way more uncomfortable for me than providing help.
It's hard for you to ask.
Impossible. I could be on fire. You could be holding a hose and I wouldn't ask you to spray it on me.
Man, I'd be like, pee on me, do anything. I'd be like, help me. Yeah.
We learned we're opposites. We could have perhaps been married.
I do, though. I'm like you, though, in the sense that I do love giving help. Even the talk show, like going through a horrible divorce, going through COVID, going through all those things at once. It's nice to have to almost look outside yourself and focus on other people doing incredible things and other world issues going on. It's nice because then it's not that you're necessarily not addressing it. You're minimizing the power it has on you. That's helpful too, to focus on other people to kind of climb out as well.
It had been, 6 years or something since your last non-Christmas album, this album.
I remember.
I think it's around 6 or so years. I often have this thought about art. This happens to comedians. It happens to a lot of people. Is like, you're a comedian because you feel like an outsider. You have a great perspective on everything, and you can really skewer and poke at the things that are happening that you feel a little bit left out of. But then you get invited into this party, and in fact, you might even rise to have the power within the group. And as your life becomes more and more comfortable, and you're actually not the victim of any suppression from anyone else, it can kind of erode your comedic edge. It can be kind of a death sentence for comedians to have a very comfortable life. You're already honest about it, that the divorce did create this album. What are your thoughts on suffering and art?
Unfortunately, my thoughts are what is reality. From darkness comes a lot of light and comes a lot of art. I wrote a ton of music. For me, it was just therapeutic. And writing is a way of me figuring out, honestly, like where I'm at and like how I feel. Because sometimes I'm so bad at always seeing potential and like always seeing hope that can really fuck me. But when I'm really, really happy, I don't tend to write.
I listen to music differently when I'm very sad
100%.
Or very elated.
You pick different artists.
That's right. They give life to the emotion I'm having that I can't articulate. It's like, oh my God, here's this exact emotion I have existing in this song. And I want to hear it over and over again because I recognize this and I feel connected and not alone because this exists. And so I must feel the same way as that person at least.
I know. And to connect like that is invaluable. Isn't it interesting that you can hear the same song 10 years later and it completely hit you differently? Like a song you've known since maybe childhood as well. And then all of a sudden you go through something and you're like, you know what? That I actually get now. And I thought I got it before. Art in general, anything that moves people, anything that powerful has to come from something powerful. And unfortunately, tragedy is powerful and it makes a big footprint on us.
Would you get down on yourself in periods of happiness where you weren't feeling as motivated to write?
No, because I'm not one of those artists, and I'm not downing artists that do this, but I've always written on my records, but I've also had other artists write on my records. I didn't write Stronger. Ali Tamposi did. There's incredible writers out there
who are going through
their stuff, and you can be the vessel for. So no, I would rather be happy. I'd rather not go through tragedy.
That's healthy.
Yeah, because I don't really mind if I write it or not. If I can connect to it, then I'll be the vessel for it.
Yeah.
I feel like you really don't have ego after this conversation, like at all, which is amazing.
Impossible. I think you kill people. See, I actually am on the other place, Monica. I'm like, this is
you don't know me.
Stinks. Some stinks.
No, I'm very boring. It's very much this. I'm not that exciting in that sense.
Well, you're the loveliest person to root for.
Oh,
and I'm
thank
so
you.
delighted that you've had so much success because you were
so sorry I kept disagreeing with you.
No, it's wonderful. I love it.
That's your truth.
I love conversation. I love other ideas. This is why, when people always say, stay away from faith, stay away from politics, stay away from like the things that you shouldn't talk about.
Buttons.
I love hot buttons.
Yeah.
No, me too.
Same.
I love to hear people's thoughts on it. I love if I disagree with you. Why do you think that? I think that's when you learn.
That's a confidence thing. I'm totally secure in how I feel about it. It's not going to hurt me to hear the contrary opinion or some criticism of it.
And I think it's scary when you can't.
I think it's when people don't really have full conviction about their opinion that they feel threatened by hearing something different.
Yeah. Fear creates a lot of chaos.
But back to how easy it is to be a cheerleader for you. I'm so delighted for you with all the success, and I hope chemistry is enormous. And
thank you.
Will you do a tour for it? Oh, you were going to do a residency right before COVID.
I was,
weren't you?
and it was actually a very different thing. It was going to be the big kind of Vegas show. So now I'm doing 10 shows starting the end of July. It's more of an intimate rock and roll, all about lighting and the music and the musicianship and the storytelling. So it's more that kind of vibe because I felt like it fit more with this release.
No festivals or anything. You're not popping in anywhere.
Well, I don't know. We're kind of still trying to figure that out because I really love Montana.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to figure out what's the biggest thing we can do to where I don't have to work as much. Look, I've worked so hard for so long.
yes.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I deserve to actually enjoy this place. I worked my ass off to pay for it.
Well, Kelly, this has been a blast.
So fun.
I know. Thank
You're
you
a
for
party.
having me.
Yes, it was so lovely. And I hope
know, I love the
everybody
conversation.
listens to chemistry from beginning to end to go through the full range of emotions.
Yes.
From PQs to
PQs to tears.
To tears.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good luck with everything. And thanks so much for coming in.
Stay tuned for the fact check so you can hear all the facts that were wrong.
Are you recording? I'm recording.
I am recording, yes.
Oh, wonderful. Have you just come from supper? You're kind of dressed up.
Yeah, I wear dresses in London.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
That was decided before you got there, or when you arrived, you thought, I'm going to stick with these dresses?
Yeah, when I packed rapidly, I mainly packed dresses.
Oh, okay. Well, they're a good item, right? Because you pack a lot of them into a suitcase.
They get really tiny.
Yeah. You didn't end up bringing a carry-on as you suggested you might, did you?
No, because
Nah.
you said reasonably that it made no sense, and that was correct.
And was your luggage out right when you cleared customs? Did you have to wait at all? Was I proven wrong?
Well, I peed, so I took a little break.
Your
But by the
pants?
time I peed my pants, and then I had to
Okay.
deal with that.
Okay.
Which took a minute. No, I went through customs. It was fine, but I did have to go to a special area.
Uh-oh, why? You were
'Cause-
selected to screen?
I'm brown.
Well, come on now. Is that what happened? Were you more security or just VIP
No.
treatment?
Now you do this weird thing where you put the passport. Have you done this yet? Or you probably did it when you were here.
In London, maybe.
Yeah,
you self-check
put
in,
your
right?
passport down on the screen, and then they take your face and whatever. But it wasn't working, and I think it was because I was too brown for the screen.
Not enough lighting in there to catch up all the details.
Yeah, I think those customs things are only lit for white people.
Oh, man.
I know.
A lot
But
of
it was
white people
fine.
in England, though.
I know, but I think that's
It's kind of like the OW, original whites.
exact. And they have OR, original racism.
Oh, OC, original colonists, colonialists. Yeah.
Not to I don't want to, I'm sure we have British listeners, and so I don't want to
Yeah.
poo-poo or call them racist. But I do think, they have an idea about brown people in this country because of the history, it's definitely a different, quote, class. I don't even really know how to say it. Of course, there's fancy Indian people
Well, everywhere. Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah. The only
But
Indian
it's
people
like
I
a
know are
different
rich.
Yeah, you know one. No, you don't. You know two.
What's the other one? I know more. I probably know 10, but what's the one you thought was the second?
You know Ravi.
Ravi Mehta.
I think that's a last name he has shortened, or
Okay.
somebody in his family did.
Right. Like Padman.
Correct.
Which Pari, again, you left out Pari, one of my friends.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So
You're right.
Yeah, you're not being very thorough.
You're right, and you're doing better than me.
What, I have more Indian friends than you do? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
What have you done so far in London town?
Well, I got into town to my hotel around 1.
Are you at the same
1:15.
hotel this time as your parents?
No.
You're How far away are you?
They're close.
They're
about
next
a
to the
12-minute
airport.
walk.
Okay. Look.
I feel like I talked about this, but maybe I didn't because I'm sure I just
Your
kept
dad
it to myself.
snores.
Oh, I'm definitely not. You think I should stay in the same room?
Of course, yeah, in bed with them, preferably, right between the two of them, so you can snuggle with both of them.
Apparently, my mom is wearing noise canceling headphones.
Oh, great! I do that
so that she can sleep.
Okay, that's her solution.
She doesn't know that she also snores. Maybe she thinks it's for my dad, but really it's her. I don't know.
Funny enough, I don't think I snore much, but when I do snore, it wakes me up. I hear the noise. I'm like, what the hell? Who's in here with me?
I know. It's so interesting because people don't know
what
if they
do,
snore. And
yeah.
I don't want to out her because I'm sure this will get back to her and I'm sure she'll be upset. So I really don't want to, but I think I have to for the truth.
You already said Kelly snores.
I did?
Yeah, when you guys on the last couple fact checks ago about the Sexy Baby Weekend, it was revealed
I
that
said she snored.
Oh, yeah,
Are you sure
yeah.
I didn't just tell you that separately?
No, it was during the telecast.
Oh, damn. Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say. So she wears earplugs because Max snores.
Oh,
See, all
Jesus.
these people think that their partner snores.
Yeah.
And that's why they have to like fix the issue. But really, they also snore.
Everyone's snoring, yeah.
I guess everyone's snoring.
I don't think I really snore, but maybe I do, and I don't know.
Well, you said sometimes you wake yourself up with the snore.
It's always the exact same thing. It's always a nap. It's only when I take a nap, and I don't know why, but in a nap.
Whoa.
That's why I don't nap. Too much snoring.
It's a good reason not to nap.
Wait,
Anywho, so
you're in a dress. Did you go out to the fancy supper?
no, because we had high tea.
Oh.
And everyone got full.
Oh, at tea, did you have a bunch of little sandwiches and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. Has your dad ever been to London?
If you ask them, have you been to London? They say, yeah, just the airport. That's not, you can't.
No. I have not been to
say that.
Dubai just because I had a layover there.
So this is their first time. They are really liking it.
It's so great, right?
Yeah. It's really.
Is the weather nice?
So nice. Sunny, hot, like good. Yeah.
Good shopping
I don't
weather.
think we're going to have rain. Good shot. I've already done some damage.
Oh, okay. Who was making you? Lizzie was going to make you a list of shopping wrecks. Lizzie Kaplan. It didn't happen.
I know. And it didn't happen. And she also, poo-pooed on Lena Stores.
Yeah, I don't understand that at all. Do you have a res for Lena Stores? Have you already been?
We went last night. First dinner.
Was it so good?
It was so good. And then I got anxious, right? So I have to just admit it. Once she put that in my head.
Okay. You started, yeah. Okay. Power of suggestion.
It was a little peer pressure, but I wasn't peer pressure enough for me not to go, but it was peer pressure enough for me
to be critical while you were there.
Exactly. And it was still amazing.
Okay.
And it wasn't as quaint. Like they've opened new locations.
Sure.
So it's not as quaint as it was when we first went.
Okay. All right, then.
So it was still delicious. But that voice was in my head.
Yeah, sure. It finds its way in there. Well, I went to the motorcycle track.
You did. How was it?
In Northern California. A couple things. Have you ever been to Chico, California?
I don't think so.
You've heard of it, I'm sure, because Chico State, right, is there? California State.
Well, I've heard of it because of the pants.
Oh, there's a brand of pants named Chico?
Yeah.
Oh.
It was a huge brand.
Oh, my God. Did you have many pairs?
Oh, maybe I'm thinking of chino.
Okay, that's a kind of pant. A chino is a style of pant. Okay. Yeah. Like Banana Republic has chinos. There's a lot of chinos.
Is it a khaki pant?
It is actually a city. It's Chico, and there's a state university there. But it's a quaint little town, and there's a main street, and it goes on forever. And I took myself about a 6-mile walk, and I stumbled into, they have a Barton Springs there.
What?
Yes, they have a bit of river that's dammed up, and it's grassy banks and cement walls. It's Barton Springs.
Oh my God.
In Chico, and the whole city's completely tree-lined and shady and small towny. If you feel like you're in like Montgomery or something, it's incredible.
Wow.
That was a revelation. I had no idea Chico was so wonderful. And then went to Thunder Hill, the racetrack that I love. It's one of my favorite. God, I don't know. It's up there. It's fantastic.
Ooh.
Rode the new Kawasaki Ninja ZX4RR, positive and negative. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Incredible new motorcycle. But what you wouldn't remember is that I had a Ninja 400 built by this guy, Jesse Norton in San Diego, who builds race motorcycles. And I love it. It's so incredible. It's what I switched to after my big off on the 1000. Love that motorcycle. It was pretty pricey to have it built. And what did Kawasaki do? They went and came out with a whole new model that's virtually the one I had built. Very expensive build. Now it's just stock. It's incredible. Inline 4, dual disc brakes, incredible. And then the highlights, because it was the launch of the motorcycle. So it was all journalists. It was 11 journalists and me. And on top of it, these 11 journalists have been riding together for some of them several decades, but all of them 10 years. Because every time there's a motorcycle launch, they all get flown to a racetrack. Half the guys race, whatever. They're kind of a tight-knit group. And there were two great French-Canadian motorcycle journalists there. They were very, very French-Canadian. And the one guy was a good-sized man. He would remind you of like Depardieu. Remember that actor, George Depardieu? Is that his name?
I sort of recognize it, but I don't know him.
He was a husky, handsome man. He like pulled me aside and he said, we don't ride with any strangers. This group, we don't like outsiders. You can ride with us anytime.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That's really flattering.
This was after a couple sessions, yes. So he told me I could ride with him anytime. And then I got a couple of really nice compliments from these guys, which I just, of course, all I'm trying to do is win glory as a motorcycle champ. So, such a fun day. So much fun. And then drove 910 miles yesterday in the bus.
But you love driving.
I fucking love driving. And they all wanted me to stop. And I'm like, I'm not stopping this bus until we are there virtually. I'm going to send you a photograph.
Okay.
Maybe we'll post this because it's worth seeing, I think. Let's see. Okay. Da 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 da. All right, let's see how long it takes these to get to England, London, England.
I mean, tech is pretty good, but I think we're going to look at like 4 to 6 hours. But we'll see.
Did it come through?
No. Oh, now it's here.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God. This is so exciting. This just in from America.
Oh God.
Yeah. Zoom in.
What's happening?
I know your eyesight isn't great.
Yeah.
The amount
Are those
of
bugs?
Yes. The amount of bugs on my windshield was absolutely impossible. I simply couldn't see out the window.
This is so disturbing. This feels like apocalypse. Yeah.
Locusts, something biblical.
Ew, what are they?
They're bugs, Monica. Those are bugs.
Why? What kind?
Scary bugs, the kind that'll kill you if you let them in.
I hate that. Oh.
I pulled into a gas station, truck stop at 12:30 a.m. and started cleaning that window. And it took 25 minutes for me to get it where I could see.
Did you eat any of the bugs?
I ate all of them. They're supposed to be really high in protein.
Yeah, and you have a high protein diet.
I have demands, protein demands. Yeah, I just scraped it off the little squeegee and collected them in a bowl.
Ew.
I bet you there really was over a pound of bugs on there. Well, you've seen that photo.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is really crazy.
So then we slept at the Walmart parking lot in Idaho Falls, which we love our Walmart parking. That's where we always camp. And I woke up this morning and not right when I woke up, but I heard Kristen outside of the bus talking to a man that had introduced himself as Eaglehead.
Oh, boy. Okay.
And he told her a tale that went on for 25 minutes. I kept thinking, do I need to go out and like give her an excuse to get out of this? Or is this one of these things she likes? I don't know. She has a lot of tolerance for this type of thing.
She does, yeah.
But he had a lot of lawsuits pending. He was living in his van in the parking lot with a woman, but he wanted her to know it was just plutonic. Like basically doors wide open. Don't let that older lady I'm shacked up with in my van fool you.
Sure.
I'm on the market.
Sure, he has options as a person living in the Walmart parking lot.
That's right. So yeah, I dig it because you never know who you're going to bump into.
Definitely. Did you push some Hello Bello diapers since he's in the Walmart parking lot and they have them in there?
We bought some Hello Bello sleep gummies.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
good.
we didn't get him to buy any, but we spent our own money on them.
It's good to support small business, especially if that is your own business.
Yeah, it's really important to go buy all the products you sell if you want to make money.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
Sure is. Wow. Okay. Then you got in and tell people where you are.
I am at South Fork Lodge, which is Jimmy Kimmel's fishing lodge. We have a guest coming up that we talk a lot about who's also been there. So yeah, we woke up there and then we got into the lodge this morning at like 11 and set up the bus and put the pop-outs out and all that. Took the motorcycles off the back so we can ride. And yeah, it's unbelievably beautiful. There's birds everywhere. I've seen blue jays and robins already, and the weather's perfect. I don't know what it is. Maybe you can relate. LA never feels like summer, ever. It's not like I ever get that fun summer feeling, but we stopped at an In-N-Out in Utah last night in the bus. And just sitting outside with it like 75 degrees at night. There's something about the way it smells. I was like, oh my God. I'm reminded that I'm euphoric for summer when I'm in it. But you don't get that in LA.
You don't. It is a very special type of balminess or something. I don't know that even on our most beautiful days, we don't have that.
No. Are you getting that in London?
No. I'm happy it's sunny because we've had so much horrible unsunniness.
Yeah.
So in that way, yes. But it's not like a Georgia summer. Or even when I was home a couple months ago for whenever I was home, that had that like, yes, I was outside. It was hot and it was humid, which is gross, but it great. And then also bird. Like, yeah, it's a different thing. It's a different thing. But that's good. I'm glad you have that.
Yeah.
Fun. Are you going to go on any major excursions later today?
Not today. I'm going to cold plunge in the Snake River.
Ooh.
I'm going to work out next to the bus. And then I'm going to shoot the shit with people and slam some Ted Seegers. I brought a couple cases of Ted Seegers. So
perfect place for Ted Seegers.
Oh, it was made for river drinking. What do you guys have planned?
Well, let's see. We did high tea. I'd like to do one or two more high teas.
You love your high tea.
Well, I love tea.
Yeah, especially if it's high.
Exactly, especially. And they like tea because they're Indian, you know.
Okay.
And we're not, I mean, there's no major, but I think we're going to go to Portobello Market, which we did when we were there. I think we're going to go there tomorrow and kind of walk around.
That's where we got separated. Eric and I. Yeah. Yes. And everyone just started walking back towards where everyone came from at some point.
Well, yes. Yes, we definitely got separated. You guys ended up walking like 4 hours home or something insane.
Barefoot.
But you liked it. Barefoot, exactly.
Isn't your dad into footing now, whatever it's called, earthing?
He is.
Can you think you could recommend that he walk through the city with his shoes off?
No, I'm
it's
not
going to happen.
Gonna do that. They, since I haven't been, they need to do some sightseeing. I leave a day early, and so they might need to do that day because I have zero interest in the London Eye.
But can't sightseeing in London just amount to walking around, which you love doing?
Yes. So I think either we'll be passing some of the stuff, / if they want to really commit, that might be the day I'm not there, or that might be the couple hours I'm getting a massage.
Oh, okay. Wonderful.
Yeah.
What hotel are you at?
I'm at the Connaught or Connaught. I don't know how you pronounce it.
Oh, Confit?
It's the Duck Confit Hotel.
Yes, Duck Confit.
Fancy.
It is. Do a pan.
So nice.
Do a quick pan for me, would you?
Okay, the room is not
not
huge because
fancy.
I have the cheapest room in the hotel.
Okay.
There's my bed.
Oh, it's a little guy.
Yeah, it's a little guy, but enough space for little old me.
Sure,
Let's
you
see.
probably have plenty of room in that little bed.
Some stuff.
Oh, yeah, but it's got nice silver stuff.
It's really nice. It's really, really nice. And it's a Jean-Georges restaurant downstairs. I've already asked to buy the candle that's in the lobby, you know.
Yeah, all this is the standard Monica things. Trying to buy all the items that are in the restaurant.
Exclusive.
Yeah.
I ran into a beautiful armchair today.
You did in London. An American or a Brit?
American.
Ah.
Apparently, there's a Cardinals game.
In London. A baseball game.
Yes. When I went through the racist customs detour,
Yeah.
there was a guy there, and he was very American. And he was saying he was going to the baseball game. And I was like, what is he talking about? But
Yeah,
I
they don't.
didn't
You say they
know.
don't play that here.
Yeah, I was like, someone should definitely take him into another room because that's obviously a lie.
Yeah. Bad cover story. What are you doing here? Oh, to see Monster Jam. Monster Truck Show.
Yeah, but apparently it's a thing. And the armchair was there with her son, and they were going to the game.
Oh, fun.
And, really cute.
Lovely. Who is this about?
This is for Miss Kelly Clarkson.
Oh, KC. KC's, that's good initials to have. I might even go by KC if I were her in my friendship circle.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's good. Oh, I did want to mention that because this morning I had breakfast at the hotel and they had soft boiled eggs with bread soldiers.
What are bread soldiers?
Little sticks of bread.
Oh, and you just poke the yolk and dip in
Well,
that?
that's for poached. But for soft boiled, it's like the egg and then the top is off.
cut
but you
off, right.
you dip the soldiers in the egg.
Oh, is it delish?
Yeah, I love it. And now you should try it since you eat
Yes.
eggs now.
I know. I'm eating all the eggs. Anytime they put them in front of me now, I'm gobbling them up.
Yeah, you got to try a soft boiled. Okay. Oh my God, this is kind of a ding, ding, ding. I didn't even mean it. But this was funny. You said something about Whataburger, or you were telling the story about being there. And then she said it under her breath. So I don't think you heard it, but it really made me laugh. She said, "Oh, is that when the breakfast taquitos came out?"
Oh, okay. I didn't hear. No, I didn't
And
hear that.
I laughed because it's like, oh, that must have been a big deal.
Breakfast
when
taquitos.
they came out with the breakfast taquitos. So I looked up when they came out.
Okay. Well, by the way, my story took place in 1992. I was still in high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whataburger has served breakfast since 1979
Oh.
and added taquitos to the menu in the early 1980s.
Oh, okay. So then they were definitely available. Although we were there in the evening. I don't think they were making breakfast.
No. They gained popularity in 1982 when Whataburger began operating all of its restaurants 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and offering breakfast overnight.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I guess it's like their thing.
I missed the boat. I could have gotten a nice breakfast taquito.
You could have, apparently.
Regrets.
They're the jam.
They're piling up.
Okay, so you said something about Urban Cowboy.
Oh, the movie Urban Cowboy with Travolta and Deborah Winger.
And I think you said they went to Whataburger.
No, they went to Billy Bob's. They shot in Billy Bob's, but they weren't calling it Billy Bob's.
Oh, okay. I thought you said Whataburger, and I looked, obviously, I couldn't find it. But also, the main place is Ninfa's restaurant chain in Houston.
I bet that's when he gets taken out by a rich woman at one point. They're on a break, and she's shacked up with this very violent, terrible man. And he goes out with a very fancy blonde who's rich.
Oh.
She has a Mercedes. She must have taken him to this place.
And is it this clip that you like? This is hard to do over.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch. You try.
Okay, uh-oh. Okay.
All right, here it is. Oh my God, Monica, it's a downpour out of nowhere right now.
Really?
Yes. Let's see if I can show you some things.
Oh my God. But it's sunny.
Well,
Is it a sun shower?
The devil's beating the shit out of his wife.
Oh, wow. That really is out of nowhere. Oh, wow. See, that's what happens in real summer.
Right. You get dramatic weather.
Yeah.
Surprises you.
That's nice.
First
Oh, that is Travolta.
Yeah, and she got ham and eggs and extra onion.
Oh. No, see, I wasn't even thinking of any of the restaurant scenes. I was thinking about when they go out dancing at Billy Bob's and they ride a mechanical bull in the movie. That's the big
Got it.
thunder and a lightning. Oh my God, now it's hailing, Monica.
Oh my, hailing?
Holy, what if you just watched me get sucked up into a tornado?
Oh my God, that'd be a first. Hailing? That feels more winter.
Yeah, it's going to snow in a second, I think.
Oh my God. Oh my God. How exciting. Okay. So she was correct about her lyrics. She said, I can't really remember. She said, I can't really remember,
okay.
but she was correct.
Okay.
And so good for her.
Great. She got it. She's ready to tour.
Yep. She was also right that Frank Sinatra won a singing contest. Like that's how he got his start.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. He was in a local singing group as the Hoboken Four, won a talent competition in 1935 on the popular radio program Major Beau's Amateur Hour.
Oh, I love Major Beau's Amateur Hour. Can't get enough
Very
of it.
trusted brand.
Yeah. Nobody knows amateurs like Beau.
Okay. Now, this fact took me a sec.
Okay.
And it was getting frustrating, but I figured it out. And then that was very rewarding. She said, there's a type of movie they were trying to make Justin and Kelly like.
Oh, yeah.
And she was like, they're like beach blanket movies and they're Frankie Valli and Ivonicelli. And I'm typing in Frankie Valli and Vonicelli, and then I'm just trying to look at Frankie Valli.
Because my mother refers to those as beach blanket movies as well.
Then I looked at beach blanket. So eventually I was able to get there.
Okay.
They're called beach party films.
Oh, beach party films, great.
There's a whole genre. It's Frankie
Avalon, sure.
Yes. And a woman named Annette Funicello.
Oh, wonderful.
So anyway, Frankie Avalon and
that rings a bell.
Funicello beach party films.
Does she have any reference point for those? Probably not. She's too young. My mom, those were very impactful. My mom brings those up all the time.
Oh, I should ask. I don't know.
I'm going to FaceTime your mom after this.
Okay.
See what's happening at their hotel.
They're staying. Okay, this is what happened.
Okay, tell me what happened.
They wanted to stay in an Airbnb.
Okay, great. And you wanted room service.
Want to do that.
Yeah.
I want to stay in a nice hotel.
Yeah, it's your big vacation.
Yeah, and when I'm in Europe especially, I don't want to stay in an Airbnb. I don't know why.
Me either.
But it's not like our pod trips or something. Like that is different.
Yeah.
But when I'm on a real vacation, I want a hotel. I just don't want to deal with all the inconveniences of life. And a hotel does that, takes care of it.
Yeah.
Also, I was concerned about staying in an Airbnb because a lot of places here, kind of like LA, don't have central air.
Right, of course. They're old as hell, and it doesn't get that hot very long.
Exactly. And I was like, it's probably going to be hot. And it is. So I was right about that. And so anyway, they were like, okay, you book the hotel you want to book and we'll figure it out, basically. So then I booked my hotel. Then a while after that, they were going to book this Airbnb, but then they changed their mind and they also booked a hotel.
Oh.
So they're close.
Why did they change their mind last minute?
Well, my brother decided not to come. I think that was a piece of it. Because that would have been an extra room probably.
Right. Yes, that makes sense.
So all of it makes sense. But anyway, so they're staying, and I think this is hard for them, right? They don't ever spend money on hotels and stuff.
Right. Yep.
They never indulge like that.
Yeah.
But they did, like they're staying at a nice hotel that's expensive.
Yeah.
And they're underwhelmed.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Well, Europe is a little underwhelming price tag wise.
Yeah, it's just so expensive.
And everything's kind of smaller than you're used to. And
exactly.
Yeah.
And especially if you're them. Like they don't travel like that very often. So they don't, So I think they're a little underwhelmed by that related to the price.
Uh-huh. So your brother didn't come because he had to work?
Yeah. But I do miss him, and I do wish he was here. If he hears this, which he doesn't, he won't.
He gave me 3 fires on one of my posts. I appreciated it the other day.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Was it for Chris Paul?
Oh, probably. Yeah, that makes sense.
He's an athlete guy.
Yeah. Hip hop and NBA, the whole 9.
He knows it all.
He's inside and out.
Let me see. Oh, wait, did I miss any facts? Well, I was going to play her full audition, but is that
Her full
silly?
audition for what?
Kelly Clarkson's audition for American Idol?
Oh, play
Some?
it. Yeah, play some of
Okay.
it. Yeah.
I'll play some. I did, looking back at it, it's so funny when you know about someone and then you look back because her charisma is so dead on. Like, it's so the same. She's the same.
That's cool.
It is.
Yeah, because a lot of these people, you go back and you're like, well, they're not even the same person. But I don't like that.
And even like, oh, they were shy then and now they found themselves. It's not that. Like, she's fully
Full
herself.
blast. She's full blast.
She's full blast KC. All right, let's try it.
I want to be an American Idol because I like to perform. That's just all I do.
And just in case our next contestant doesn't hit the big time, Kelly Clarkson has a backup plan.
This is unique. I like this. Is
I
that a
think
skirt?
that-
This used to be our pants.
This used to be my pants.
This thing
I
is.
feel like it's like I know. I'm to be a fashion designer. This doesn't work out.
Call it a hunch, but we don't think Kelly is going to need that plan.
Hello, Kelly. Hello. How old are you? I'm a big fan of you, by the way.
Thank you
I'm
very
20. I just turned 20 this April.
Oh, well, happy birthday.
Oh, thanks.
Happy birthday.
What are you going to sing today?
I'm singing Express Yourself by
Great.
Madonna.
Great.
Alrighty. You don't need diamond rings or 18 karat gold. Fancy cars that go very fast. You know they never last. No, no. What you need is a big strong hand to lift you to your higher ground. Oh.
Good job.
Cool beans.
Randy.
She keeps
I
saying
love
cool
that song. I
beans.
worked on that song with Madonna. You did a very good job. Oh, come on. See, they love this, right? I can't help it if I'm so famous, man.
I know you are.
I love me.
That's cool. You should be a star.
You really
You
think
should be
I think you should try out. Look, I'll take your place. Let's get
They're like switching seats.
Oh,
it's
she's
a whole
so
like,
confident. Yeah.
I'll stop, but she is really comfortable.
She's the same. You're right. That's just the
Yeah.
same woman that came into the attic.
I know it's fun. I like it.
Yeah.
She's very, very much herself, and I appreciate it. All right. Well, that is Kelly.
I miss you. I'm
Miss you.
so glad you're in London wearing dresses and shopping and having fun.
I'm so glad you're enjoying the hail and the weather
And
catastrophes.
I'm about to vanish. Yes.
Our last fact check.
All right. Love you. Have fun. Tell your mom and dad I said hi and I love them.
I will.
All right. Bye.
Bye.